And we are live. What's going on, Robert? Welcome to Massive Iron Live. I am the big, hairy, ugly dude, joined by the supplement engineer. Happy Friday, December 11th. You know, Christmas is only 2 weeks away, and we're driving around. This morning, we went to the gas station to get a delightful protein bar, and like no one has their Christmas lights up. What's going on?
Weird. Did y'all put anything? Have y'all decorated yet, or are you in the process of it?
Nah, we got our tree. We got our tree up. We had our tree up pretty early, but man, it's coming fast and furious this year.
And we've got our tree up. We don't have any outside lights up just yet. That'll probably be this weekend.
Nah, we got our building, but we don't. It's way too tall to do any shenanigans like that. So yeah. Let's see. All right, guys. Before we get started, guys, we're generally on for at least 2 hours. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from, what kind of shenanigans you got going on, how many local businesses have lost, have gone out of business, how your filthy mask is doing. Just let us know where you guys are from and post up your questions. If you're new to the live video, please, I encourage you to ask a question. No question is a dumb question. Robert is a supplement expert, if ever there was one. So if you have a supplement question or a question about a specific ingredient, please let him know. And before I dive in to the question of the day, Robert, you had a migraine. You feeling any better?
Yeah, it comes like when there's a massive pressure change or something like that, because this week the weather in Austin's been really squirrely. Like it'll be 40 degrees overnight, and then it'll jump up to like 75 or 80 degrees during the day. And when it gets really wonky like that, like my head, like I'm starting to feel like a little bit of a headache coming on like now. But man, yesterday was it yesterday or was it Wednesday? I don't remember. Like that when I get a migraine, I'm like out of commission. And I grew up every Monday without fail. I would come home from school. This started, I guess, maybe around 5th grade and lasted pretty much till I had graduated high school. Without fail, every Monday I would come home with a splitting migraine, go get home from school, puke, fall asleep for 2 hours, wake up, do my homework, and then go off to Taekwondo and get my shit done. And then, I'd feel fine. But then inevitably the next Monday was the exact same thing. And so I don't know what it was about Mondays in the New Orleans metro area. Then we moved to Michigan. I didn't get any migraines. I went to college. I didn't get migraines all that often. And, once every couple of weeks, I'll get one. So
Robert, before we dive in, please let everybody know, who are you? Who are you, Robert?
My name is Robert Chesky.
Supplement engineer.
I am the supplement engineer. Yes. I host 2 podcasts, the Supplement Engineer podcast and the Final Scoop podcast. I'm an industry writer, all things health, fitness, supplementation, training, nutrition, all that good stuff. Former mechanical engineer by degree, proud graduate of Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Black belt in Taekwondo and connoisseur of all things bourbon and smart aleck remarks.
Bourbon and smart aleck remarks. All right. So, Robert, I got to ask you, we started the Massive Iron Insider, and just to let anybody know that is not paying attention, we're doing an article on there, 2 articles a month. We're doing 2 articles a month that are member-only articles. I put up my article, and you put up a members-only article as well. Give us a brief overview of what that was about.
There are so many supplements that these, I don't want to say nefarious or unscrupulous, but there are certain low-hanging fruits that supplement companies know that consumers will go for because these ingredients were popular back in the 90s and to the early 2000s because there was one animal study done or one study that was heavily funded and biased by a supplement company. And so till this day, we still see these products, whether it's like HMB, glutamine, CLA, all of these kind of ingredients that have been kind of in this supplement sphere for, well over a decade. And I'm tired of seeing, these shenanigans go on because these are dirt cheap ingredients to produce, but companies are selling them for like $40, $50 a bottle. And so, my article was 3 muscle building ingredients that are absolutely worthless. I think that's what I've termed it as, but that's basically what it is. It's, hey, don't waste your money on any of those 3 ingredients that are in there.
Let me just try to pull something up here. I got 8,000 windows going on. So let's see. Where are we? For those of you that are curious, Robert and I launched a new Massive Iron Insider, and that you can find that over my website, superlivingtoday.com. There is a tab called Massive Iron Insider. It's only $24.99 a month. It's like micro coaching. We're doing master classes. A lot of this stuff is for insiders only, insider only articles. I got a lot of insiders that are sending me questions on a daily basis, so please check that out. Let's dive in, Robert, shall we? We got a new name here, New York City, in here putting that work in.
There we go.
Glad to see that because still seeing some crazy stuff coming from New York and Pennsylvania. So just glad to see you guys getting it. We got pork meat, regular. Dave is actually one of the new Massive Iron Insiders. And Dave, really glad to have you here. Harut, hey guys. And Harut says, "What's WBL? How the fuck did you find that out? How did you find out WBL?" I play Out of the Park Baseball 21, right? It's an online, it's a simulation game, and I do that in my free time. And I run a sim league. I run a sim league from 1919. I ran it all the way up to like 1975.
Damn.
But I don't know how he found that out. Maybe he just found my name on one.
Well, at the bottom of the screen, Steve. Like, so remove the question. It has WBL at the bottom of your StreamYard thing.
What's that?
That your name on the StreamYard thing was WBL.
Oh, did it? Let me check that out. How did it do that? Let's see. Edit name. Oh, I was doing a recap video for my league last night, and I'm like, how in the hell did he figure that out? So I was a little bit shocked. I thought my recap video leaked out over the internet. No, I'm a big baseball sim fan, and I play Out of the Park 21. And there's a fictional baseball league that I play for fun when my 2 free hours a week. What do we got here? Alex Klein. I get migraines every single Friday. Wake up Thursday night with one, and it lasts until Friday afternoon.
Yeah,
I've been getting a lot of headache issues just from the temperature changes. It's funny when I go out and run. If I feel fine, I usually come back with a headache, a sinus headache, just because of all the temperature changing and dancing out in the woods. Dave Argentino, 3 questions this morning. 3, the trifecta. First, do you guys like Dune? Okay, let's tackle these one at a time. I'm a big science fiction book reader, but when it comes to like space opera and stuff like that, I'm more like I'm more like a space travel, space exploration guy rather than a space opera guy. And Dune kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, lands in the space opera type of thing. I never read it through. It's one of the few books I haven't read. How about you, Robert?
I'm in the same boat. I have not read through it. That probably makes me a really bad sci-fi fan. But yeah, I've read the whole Ender's Game series and all of the legitimate Star Wars books. None of the ones released since Disney took over, but the whole Legend series. So yeah.
I read the Ender's Game, and Dave turned me on to a movie called what was it? Shit, it was some weird cult science fiction movie. I forgot what it was, Dave. You're gonna have to remind me, but we watched it this week. I didn't mind it. My wife wanted to kill me. Second, exotic lifts, bent press, side press, circus acts, fun to do or worthless. Nothing is worthless. If you're going to do any of these things, best to kind of ease into them. So a lot of times if you're doing some of these lifts, you're going to really take a hit on your core because a lot of them are really, really, really intense. So just ease into them. Nothing that gets you stronger is a waste. It just has to be put into your program right. And I don't imagine, Robert, you do any wacky circus lifts at all.
No, I mean I'll do push-ups with a 3-year-old on my back. Does that count? Or like I'll grab her between my ankles and do pull-ups with her. I mean, does that count as a circus act? If I need some external loading, I'll do that sometimes.
Well, if I could help you upgrade your push-up, you might just get your wife naked and have her lay on your back, Robert. That would be an experiment this weekend. That would be an exotic lift. That would be quite the exotic lift.
No, I tend to stay away from like some of the circus stuff, or like I call them the party tricks in like the calisthenics world, like where you do a front lever or all those like some of those things that are like the gymnastics tricks. I like to use body weight exercises for their bodybuilding purposes, not necessarily some of like the circus tricks and stuff like that.
You know, if I had that stuff back in the day, I might have played around with it, but it's just, I was handcuffed to the weeder world, and none of that stuff was really around.
Yeah.
I just didn't have access to it, or I might have played around with it at the gym. Who knows? It might have been a whole different thing. Frank Fitness UK. What's going on, Frank Fitness? We got, let's see, what do we got here? We got a comment from who, what, where? And Alan Roberts. Let's see. I got to do the StreamYard. Where's the link?
At the bottom, it should say invite, I think.
Yeah. Can you got WhatsApp open? You got WhatsApp open, Robert?
Do I?
Yeah.
Let me get it. I got to pull up a different browser. All right.
Because I had it closed. I closed out my stuff. I sent you a private message. If you can drop that over for Alan.
Okay. Yeah.
What do we got here? Where were we? Sorry, guys. Alan Roberts just dropped in. What do we got? RKO by Orton. I have pretty small hands. Do I have any advantage or disadvantages in terms of lifting? Definitely not any advantages.
No.
Harder to grab a barbell. I have a weird thing going on where I have big feet and smaller hands. Not small hands, but mine are big and fat and thick. My wife thinks they're huge, but my feet are bigger than my hands. So I wouldn't say you have any advantages. No, I wouldn't say that. The only disadvantage is you probably need to get VersaGrips out of the gate. 69 Camaro. Have you gone over Lane Norton's new pre-workout yet? I didn't even know Lane was still in the game.
I had him back on the podcast maybe a month and a half ago. We were discussing his new pre-workout line that just launched, Outwork Nutrition.
Have you looked at it yet?
Yes, I have. And so like he used to have the Carbon line of supplements, and that was released exclusively through bodybuilding.com, and they were, I believe, backers in it. So if anybody wants to go hear the whole story of how, Carbon Nutrition went, and now, the genesis of Outwork, go listen to the Supplement Engineer podcast where I sit down with Lane and we go over all of that stuff. But I have the supplement facts panel if we want to go over it. What's up, Alan?
Yeah,
we'll sexy motherfucker.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to your question here in a second, Camaro. We got Alan Robert tuning in. If I pronounce your name correctly, Alan, it is that motherfucker. Is that correct, Alan?
The genesis of Outwork. Go listen to the Supplement Engineer podcast where I sit down with Lane and go over all of that stuff. But
I think Alan's got his Alan's on delay or something. I can't hear him. I heard we can't hear you, Alan. We just heard Robert's echo. That's okay. We'll just keep him on mute. We'll just do voiceovers every time he opens his mouth. We'll talk like Greg Doucette every time you open your mouth.
Going off the rails in a hurry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You got that?
Yeah, I got to keep these in, but it's running off the other mic. What the fuck's up, motherfuckers? Long time.
Yeah, what's going on? We're here every Friday.
Oh no, I watch. I normally am fucking slam packed at this time, so that's why I have. But today, for some reason, Crystal fucking made it so my schedule's super nice today. I got tons of fucking calls for new business, but what the fuck's up, man?
Not much. We're usually.
How's your apocalypse going?
How's the apocalypse going? Well, I got a story. We had somebody come in from the mental health industry and talk to my wife this morning about some sewing crap. and they said they're not going to get the shots till like February. So they're thinking that in Ohio, they're not even going to offer the vaccines to like the normal public till March, which means it's probably till October before everybody gets over the mask thing. And I was saying by then, all the small businesses are going to be absolutely dead.
Done. Okay, I don't even understand how we're here. First of all, I'd like to say for those of you out there that don't hold it against either of these guys that they're having me on. I figure right now I should say that because I'm apparently one of the only fucking, like, amongst you guys and me and a few others, we're the only fitness industry people that have the fucking balls to actually talk about the shit that's affecting people's fitness on a fucking daily basis right now. Like any fitness person that's not actually fucking talking about like lockdowns, COVID and shit like that. Fuck all you motherfuckers, you coward pussy ass bitches. I swear. Like, I mean, like every fucking year, like, I mean, you know, I just posted something about this. But like 5 years ago, and Steve, you were there for the fucking start of this. You know, I started on a little endeavor to try to make my peers into my idol. We were trying to make my idols into my peers.
Right.
And you know, now, you know, not that I'm not some fucking huge name or anything like that, but I've met a lot of these people, and a lot of these people, like I talk to more people behind the scenes than I think people know. Most of these motherfuckers, just to be real, most of you motherfuckers are super humongous fucking letdowns. I'm sorry, I'm stealing your podcast to fucking take a shot at the entire fitness industry, and then I'll leave, and you guys can handle that. But,
no, we're on an island right here. No one knows we exist, and
but fuck all these motherfuckers, like coward ass bitches. Like all these people care about their popularity more than they care about doing a good fucking job. You know, like that's what I don't fucking get. Like you're too afraid to say that fucking a mask might not be the best thing for you. You're too afraid to fucking say to your fucking audience, like, figure out a fucking way. Like, it's fucking. I think it's weird perspective for me because, like, my family still lives in Pittsburgh, but I moved to Southwest Florida right before all this stupid shit hit. Thankfully, fucking my wife is a goddamn genius for fucking getting me out of what would be prison. Because could you imagine me with my ADHD and shit like that, fucking stuck in that fucking apartment I had in Pittsburgh? I'd be fucking dead by now.
Let's backtrack for a moment. For those of you watching, we got people from all over the world. For reference, Alan, when I would go visit Alan, when you did the first SITFU, it's in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. For those of you unaware, Pennsylvania is like ground zero of stupidity.
Jesus fucking Christ, it's insane.
Like you just posted something yesterday where they had more and more restrictions. I don't know, like, how small business is going to survive at all there. And, you know, the thing that pissed me off about what I saw was that they said, like, big box stores could run at 50% capacity. Well, that's like saying Walmart, you know, can have 1,000 people in the store at a given time, but right now during the pandemic, they can only have 500. Like, that's going to affect them at all.
Well, that's the thing. Like, most of those stores fucking stay, like, they operate at 50. Like, Walmart's never at 100% capacity. I mean, that's dumb. Like, it affected their business zero. You know, I mean, at all. Like, there's never a time when there's fucking, like, what's their building capacities for those big warehouse type things? Like fucking thousands?
I don't even think they need to have them posted. I know a lot of, I don't know where it is, how it is in Texas and in Florida, but, you know, around here you got to post capacity. I assume that was a federal law.
I don't fucking, I'm amazed by it, like, by this shit. We are free down here. Like, I'm either taking Crystal to a nightclub tonight or tomorrow to go fucking dancing and shit like that. I mean, there's no capacity limits. There's we're just fucking free down here. And we have been since May. Like, but if this was the fucking world killer, it would be, we have the oldest population in the fucking, I'm young for here. Like, I'm one of the young people for here, you know, like, it's fucking crazy. And if this was really what they say it was, we'd be dead by now. Like, all of us would be dead by now. Because we party as a fucking team down here. Like, when people get together, they fucking have a good time down here. Like, it's not like people are staying away from each other or any fucking thing like that. It's crazy.
So, you know, we both have a substantial client base, mm-hmm. and, like, you know, moving beyond, like, when the gyms started to close down and that panic, this year has been crazy in the sense that we're seeing our clients deal with more, stress, anxiety, alcohol abuse, mm-hmm. Fucking Grubhub and Uber Eats. I mean, just
so fucking ridiculous. Dude, I think you and I are taking this fucking pandemic seriously than the fucking people that are actually at fucking risk.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're talking about taking it seriously, I mean, me and Robert talk about this every week. Our veggie consumption, our micronutrient, our focus on micronutrient density.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing 10 hours of cardio a week, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're
I don't know how much weight I've lost. I mean, I just know it's substantial. And I know you've lost weight. Like, reality, there was no sense in me staying at like 200 plus pounds or 210 plus pounds at fucking almost 50 years old when I'm a fucking lifestyle coach. I'm not even like a fitness coach. I'm a fucking lifestyle coach. And I mean, I'm not going to, like, if I fucking stayed freak and then fucking did all that shit and tried to fucking make sure that I got super lean for fucking for fucking money, that's disingenuous. I would not be fucking, I would not be happy, one, because I hate dieting like that, because that's what it is. It's a diet. And two, I wouldn't be as healthy probably. I mean, I feel fucking great right now. And I seriously, I have no idea how much weight I've lost. I couldn't tell anybody for anybody commenting, I couldn't tell anybody how much I weighed. I haven't been on a scale in fucking forever. I couldn't tell anybody what my fucking lifts, even my 5 rep max. I couldn't even fucking tell you. I don't even fucking know. Don't even fucking care. And if you're a fucking 300-pound fat fuck and you're still worried about your fucking squat and you're not competing, you're a stupid fuck.
So let me ask you guys a question, regarding health, and I'd like to hear what everybody watching has to think as well. Long-term ramifications. Robert, I'm going to start with you. Right now, we just mentioned we're looking at probably, once they get all the vaccines out and available, and then they finally are open to demasking and opening businesses up again. What's going to be the long-term impact of obesity, mental health? It was
the most unhealthy year ever.
The long-term damage compared to what we did in the short term.
I mean, I think that the healthcare system was already overloaded not from COVID, but from like the billions and billions of dollars we spend dealing with heart disease, all the other chronic lifestyle diseases, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular disease.
Those things aren't dangerous, though. What about fucking COVID?
No. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is like all of the mental stress that people have been accumulating, all this is going to keep leading to systemic inflammation. It's going to exacerbate people that were already diabetic are just going to keep getting more unhealthy. This whole year of locking down people has led to, like Alan just said a second ago, an overall worsening of the general populace. We were already a fat, disgusting, very unhealthy population, like in majority in the mass.
You're going to get canceled. You just said disgusting.
I did. Well, I mean, I'm serious about that. But I mean, it's the way the general individual conducts themselves and holds themselves. Like 70% of our population is unhealthy. And Steve, I know you've touched on numbers before. Like the average individual isn't fit enough to go into our military. I mean, those facts are disgusting. You should be disgusted by that fact that we have an abundance of everything, the knowledge and the accessibility to take care of ourselves, yet the vast majority of people, at least from the statistics you're seeing, don't do that. And it's only going to continue to make it worse.
So Alan, I'm gonna say this, like, reading your comments online, you get these wacky guys. When you dare to talk about health, when you dare to talk about any health issue other than COVID, you get these wackadoodles that, act like you're a heretic. And they toss around things like conspiracy theorists. Like, it's not like we're minimizing, like you've ever minimized, or any of us have ever minimized the severity of COVID. We all understand what the degree of severity is, but like it almost feels like you can't talk about other health issues right now without somebody just trying to return the narrative right back to COVID, like it exists in a bubble.
Well, here's my thought on that, and this is why I think the fitness industry is full of fuckheads. Again, right? I've always felt that, but like once I started meeting people, I was like, oh yeah, fuckhead, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you. Anyway, it's a part of our world now. Like people are gonna have to address it. And the biggest thing about this virus, and for those of you out there, just real quick background on me before, like, let's get past the whole angry, bald, screaming dude. Okay. I have a degree in healthcare administration. I have a degree in accounting, and I was a healthcare executive for across the entire Eastern United States for like 15 fucking years. I helped write disaster plans, including outbreak plans for major counties, including Allegheny County, Albany County in New York. Like, I mean, like this is what I used to fucking do. And the focus was with elderly people. I was still a healthcare executive when Steve and I met. That's actually how we met, is that I was in his area on business, saw where he was working out, and asked if I could fucking work out with him. So I traveled up and down the Eastern United States, in and out of hospitals, Alzheimer's facilities, long-term cares, independent livings, those sorts of things for a long fucking time. You know, that's how I learned that's really how I honed my shit about nutrition and shit like that, right? And the normal procedure for when any new virus or any viral outbreak happens for long-term care, elderly people, or highly immunocompromised people in hospitals is to lock those motherfuckers down immediately, right? They're the ones that are at danger. Almost no fucking respiratory illness that is new, especially a new strain of a known virus that has been around the world multiple fucking times, which is what COVID is. I called COVID a bad cold the other day, and people lost their fucking shit. Guess what, dumb fucks? It's a bad cold. It's a fucking coronavirus, and it's worse than the fucking regular one. Like, it's completely factual to call it a bad cold. But if you do that, you're all fucking minimizing shit, and fucking you see the fucking losers fucking freak out on you. It's a bad cold. It's a reality. I mean, that's what I found, I think, kind of like amazing in this last fucking bit of time. People have depended upon me, and I absolutely have no problem sitting in this seat of the fitness personality that people like will like, then dislike, then will like, then will dislike, because I have no fucking problem being myself. Anybody that's ever met me in real life or has spent any time talking to me knows that and I even posted this yesterday. Sometimes even definitely unfortunately for the people in my life and around me, this is who the fuck I am. This is my personality. Like, I mean, I am not a fucking character. I talk like this all the fucking time. When I'm not swearing, that is me trying to be who I am, like trying to be polite.
On your best behavior.
It is. It's my best behavior. I have raging high process ADHD. So if I try to control my speech pattern, and Steve, you've seen me make videos like this. You can tell when I'm not comfortable. That's why I don't do sponsorships. I don't do sponsorships because, one, I don't want to tie my name to people, and two, I'd like to have my name on anything I fucking sell. I'd rather fucking do that. But three, I come across so fucking horrible. It's so fucking cringy watching me try to fucking do regular fucking promos. I can't fucking stand it because this is just my personality. But my personality is also one that I am like, and Steve's been around me, shit just comes out of my mouth. I mean, if it fucking crosses my head, and especially if I'm in an agitated state, which I would refer to 2020 as being an agitated state,
Yeah,
I will fucking say what's on my mind. And I don't give a fuck if it hurts people's feelings, and I don't give a fuck if people like it, and I don't give a fuck if people agree with it. As long as I think I'm right and I have data to prove it, especially if I say it's my fucking opinion, I'm going to fucking say it, because I'm not a pussy ass motherfucker who is worried about his popularity to the point where I will fucking pander to fucking anybody. Well, yeah. I think it's ridiculous that we're not talking about this all the fucking time. It is a part of our world. Like, it's endemic. And for those of you dumb fucks that don't understand what that is, that means it ain't going away. No vaccine is going to fucking make a virus that has probably infected somewhere around, 1 billion people by now. It's probably infected 1 billion people. The World Health Organization months ago said it had probably infected 800 million people. It has probably infected 1 billion people by now. If you take the number of deaths that have died with COVID, because it's not even with COVID, if you take that and divide it by 1 billion, this is just a fucking flu. Like, it is unfortunate it is very, very dangerous for very elderly people. But I say it all the time. These are the people that do the dying. When your average age is around the age of life expectancy, it's within the statistical realm of error, like the statistical realm of error for life expectancy, because that's an estimate. They don't actually take up all the fucking deaths and then divide it. They don't add their ages together and divide it, but it's an estimate. If you take that into consideration, plus they're sickly, 2.6 underlying conditions for an average age of 80 years old, around 80 years old, that person is dying. When 90% of these people had fucking, like the first wave, already had DNRs in place. That's a legal document that just can't all of a sudden be signed. It has to be, I mean, it actually needs to be, there's process for legal document, for DNR.
Yeah.
And 90% of them, of the initial wave, had DNRs in place already. That's unreal. Like, I mean, this is a cult. Like, it's unfortunate, and I'm about to say something that might get you fucking kicked off fucking YouTube. But it's a cult. It's a natural
channel after this.
It's a natural culling of the elderly. That's what That's what new viruses do. That's what new viruses do. You know, most of the time, new viruses take out the sick and the elderly of a population very fucking quickly. You know, and that's what was happening here. And to the conspiracy theory thing, I wanted to get back to that too. If you take data from the CDC and the World Health Organization, the data that they're making all of the decisions based on, and you take the numbers and you look at the numbers and they show you that it is not that deadly for people under 65, it's less deadly than the flu for 65, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's just fucking math. Okay? And for me to be able to say, before I'm going to wear a mask, because I don't wear a mask. I don't even own one at this stage. Just be real. I know my world and your guys' world are completely fucking different. Like, I mean, completely fucking different. But for me to wear a mask, I damn well fucking want to make sure that I am going to fucking get my say too. Like, you want me to wear a mask? You fucking do better for your health. You know, if this was really a world killer, they would have fucking immediately said, get healthy as quickly as fucking possible. Not go to McDonald's. I see this one guy says, just a flu, data does not support that. Literally. Show me the math, you dumb fuck, of 1.6 million people divided by 900 million to 1 billion people. Show me that number, you full-on fucking moron. Anyway.
So I gotta
Greg Rissinger, I mean that in the nicest way possible.
So I gotta share a personal story. All right. So my mom is 76. Mm-hmm. She has the at least 2.6 underlying conditions. Mm-hmm. My mom she's been overweight her entire life. She has diabetes, high blood pressure, all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And she goes into she's sick, for a week, and my mom's stubborn. She's just not gonna go. Yeah, I'm staying home. So finally, we get her to go into the hospital, and they test her for COVID. She has COVID. They keep her in ICU and send her home for a week.
1 second. I'm reading your guys, Greg's comment. Not as deadly, but there are underlying health conditions. This is how I picture his voice being. Not as deadly, but there are underlying health conditions that are well beyond the flu. Show me the data. Show me the data on that. Every underlying condition that the COVID causes is caused by the flu. They're inflammatory respiratory illnesses. Show me. Please do show me. Because you sound stupid as fuck right now. Show the data. I just told you data. You're fucking giving me opinion. That's all you're fucking doing. And that's all this fucking year has been. We showed data. People give their fucking pussy ass virtue signaling, appeal to emotion opinion. And that's what's killing the fucking country, is these fucking virtue signaling pussy ass opinions. Here's a news flash for you pussies. People fucking die. Elderly people actually fucking die. It's a horrible thing. We are not going to stop death. You fuckers need to stop looking at the fucking death ticker of this thing. Understand that it is just deadly to people that are older and shit like that. If you're sick and immunocompromised, and younger healthy people die of this, about just like a few percent, like maybe 2%, because 6% of these people have died of COVID.
That's 6%. Very rare. That's like a lightning strike if you look at the actual statistics. Yeah. And even in those people,
your car is more dangerous.
There's a strong case that they may have had something that would have contributed it. What I want to talk about is like my mom, 76, all these conditions. She goes in, gets tested for COVID. They don't even bother to test her to see if she has pneumonia, right?
No, they go straight for the COVID test because they get money.
So she gets home. She's still feeling crappy. She goes back and they find out she has pneumonia. So here's my mom with COVID, pneumonia, 8.5 thousand underlying conditions, and she's at home right now. Fine. So I'm not what the point I'm trying to make here is
Let me
that
tell you something. Rudy Giuliani just got COVID and he's fucking up and kicking. That dude looks like a fucking corpse already. If he's fucking gonna be okay, then I'm gonna set my bar and think I'm gonna be all right if I get COVID.
it's just that those that are not making it out, you know, in general, they're far worse than my mother was, and that's the reality. That's the reality. It's not that this is, not deadly. It's deadly to people that probably weren't going to make it out this year.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I said that the other day, and people lost fucking lost their shit. Like most of these people were gonna fucking pass away this year, next year, the year after. Dude, like that's why like people don't know. Me and Steve have had long conversations with it. I had to get out of that business because you're around death all the time. Like I mean, like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to leave the healthcare business is because you are literally around death all the fucking time. And I prefer to try to make it so we can help people avoid death and avoid chronic illness and disease. But when you're in that industry, that's all you deal with all the time. Like it would be hard. Like I would visit a place by your place, and you would get to know some of the elderly people and stuff like that. You would hear their stories, and then you go back and they're dead. It sucked. It's not a fun thing, but death does fucking happen.
But the people that say we're not taking it seriously, I don't visit my mom and I don't visit my dad. My dad's far worse than my mom. I am taking it seriously for their health. I don't visit them. It's sad. I don't get to see him for Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I'm not visiting my dad. My dad has been a smoker his whole life. He barely has any lung capacity. Mm-hmm. I'm taking this very, very seriously.
But this is what you would have done during, a couple Christmases ago, I missed Christmas with my mom because I had the flu like right beforehand, and I didn't want to fucking give it to her, and she's sick. I've been taking people say I'm anti-mask. I wore a mask all the time when I worked in healthcare. You fucks. That's how I know that they don't stop viruses. I used to teach the class for proper mask usage. That's how I know it's stupid for us to be fucking. Here's how you know here's how you know it's full on stupid. They tell the entire populace to wear a mask. Wearing a mask, surgeons get trained in proper ways to put masks on and take them off. We're just telling people to fucking cut a sleeve off of a fucking t-shirt and wear it. It's so radically dumb. I just can't get how people don't they're like, oh, okay, here's how I make this mask. Yeah, that's gonna save your life. Your old Led Zeppelin t-shirt fucking cut in half. That's gonna fucking help you. You dumb fucks.
That's sacrilege to cut a Zeppelin t-shirt in half, though. Nobody. Really I'm going to come to their house and beat their ass for cutting a Zeppelin t-shirt in half.
Well, in my day, we had to work for a fucking Zeppelin t-shirt. We had to go down to the record store. There was actually one on the wall that was our size. Yeah. So these days, they can just order them off Amazon. So I imagine they're disposable.
I mean, come on now. I mean, people really. I mean, it shows such lemming type mentality. The size difference between the hole in a piece of fabric and a fucking virus is hilarious.
Orders of magnitude.
It's so funny, and then people don't understand. If you cough into a cloth mask, it aerosolizes the fucking virus. It's so bad. It's so bad. I can almost guarantee, and this is my opinion, of course. Blah 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 blah. But I almost guarantee you, we're going to study this, 10 years from now, as people are looking back and laughing at all these fucking lemmings, and we're going to fucking see that wearing masks actually got more people sick. Actually.
Let's talk about this, Robert and Alan. Everybody is, the virtual signaling thing. Everybody's so concerned, air quotes, with public health. Mm-hmm. But in the long run, the people we are making sick, they're going to be obese. They're going to have 2.6 underlying conditions. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be susceptible in the future. We're actually creating more potential for this to happen in the future.
Oh my God, yeah.
Than we're preventing. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, you're absolutely right for multiple reasons. First of all, we're making people less healthy. I mean, what was it? In the time of year where most of America loses about 10 pounds, which is the summer months. On the average, people lose from I think the statistic is from the beginning of February or the end of February until August. on the average, people lose like 10 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, on the average, we've gained 15 pounds. And then we get to, I hate when it's fucking out of focus, it drives me crazy. And then we get to the holiday season. People are going to put on their normal 10 to 15 fucking pounds in the holiday season. It's colder a lot of places. They're less active. The food we take in is much more highly processed and done more in larger quantities. So people gain weight. So now we're going to have added 25 fucking pounds onto people. What people understand is for a lot of people, that extra 25 pounds, because they normally fluctuate between the 10 pounds lost and then 10 pounds gain, and then they fucking maybe gain a pound or two a year, and then they fucking keep going up, right? Because we just keep gaining weight. We really do. But the reality of it is 25 extra pounds added onto somebody, for many people, that is a lot of weight. That's, I mean, like for me, that's well over 10% of my body mass right now. Well over. And for a lot of people, if they put on 25 fucking pounds, you know, their mobility gets compromised. All their blood levels, all their blood tests get fucked, and their insulin levels, plus the fucking sedentary nature. We're very seriously creating another generation of very sick people. And if we really want to take, like, if there's ever going to be a mandate, how about a mandate to fucking get healthy? You know, like, but then we're still like, you can't tell me what to eat. So you can tell me what to wear on my fucking face and where I can fucking go, but I can't suggest to you that your health is your responsibility. Like somehow your health is my responsibility. You know, I've worked a long time to try to fucking help people get healthy, and I will continue to do so, and I'm very happy to. But I've also worked a long time to get myself healthy, like to the point where I'm not concerned about this shit. Like I physically look like an almost completely different person, besides being very ugly in the face still, than I did before, because I literally have changed my entire body composition. You know, I've taken it seriously. How the fuck can these people not? Like, it drives me crazy. It really does. And I'm sure there's going to be people like, he admitted he went crazy.
Well, you know, one of the things I find interesting, and this is kind of, a side note, but it has to do with immune system health. You know, I cut my teeth, obviously, in the power building world, the heavy lifting world. But one of the biggest things I've learned by venturing into endurance running is that I never get sick. I'm out in the cold, the wet, the snow, running. I never get sick. Never. And some of that has to do with constant exposure to the elements. Some of that has to do with vitamin D, and some of that has to do with taking care of myself. Yet, you know, we are I imagine it's like this for you guys. You look at McDonald's, and it's like I equate it to a NASCAR short track race. It's like people going round and round in circles, and like, who's leading? I want to know who the lap leader is right now. You know, it's like the same people that will get mad at you for saying it's my personal choice, I'm not going to wear a mask. A lot of them are busy doing laps at McDonald's right now.
Yeah. Like I haven't been through a drive-through window in fucking years. Like years, you know? I don't understand. People had so much more time on their hands, and yet they fucking started doing so much less. You know, we had people terrified. Like, that's another thing too, the fear. Like, let me tell you something. And this goes out to the person that fucking is in charge of the text response thing that goes out, like the warning system for Pennsylvania. My mother, my elderly, sickly mother, got a fucking text the other day, like, you know, stay inside, warning, COVID is surging in the area, blah, blah, blah. You know, to terrorize people like that is fucking insane. You know, like, it's so fucking ridiculous. We got this Dylan Miller in the comments.
The thing that bothers me, Alan, is that there's no counterbalance. We are not going out of our way to educate people how to actually protect the people that are at high risk. How many conversations do you see about that on social media? They're the fringe. They're very small. There's very little conversation about that. There's very little conversation about taking care of yourself to minimize not only now but the future risk. Why is that?
You know, well, nobody wants really personal responsibility either. But when you bring up what would have to be done, because if we really wanted to save elderly people, like here's my opinion, backed up by fucking historical data and shit. If we would have very much focused on helping those that choose to of the very elderly or the elderly and high risk, if we would have done whatever we could do to help them isolate, we would have saved many, 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 many lives, like tens and tens of thousands of lives. And I'm not even talking about the fucking like murder that was committed by Governor Cuomo and a few others by putting COVID, which I think on Twitter, I fucking put that in like April, like, and readmitting COVID positive patients to long-term cares is arguably the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life. And I said that immediately because that's what I used to do for a fucking living. It's like, I think what people understand is like, before COVID, that would have been illegal. You know what I mean? Right. if you're a hospital, if you're a nursing home administrator, or have a nursing home administrator's license, if you accept the admission of a highly contagious person that you know is highly contagious into your population, into a long-term care population, and somebody else dies, you normally lose your license and you normally go to jail. I mean, even if you're not the one that did it, like if your director of nursing does that, then you can still go to jail. Like it was illegal before this. So that was moronic. But I always saw the people in the comment section like, well, I live with my grandma to take care of her. Like, first of all, no, you don't. You live with her because she takes care of you because you live in her fucking basement. But two, then you get to fucking stay in too. And they're like, I got to go to job. Yes, you can. Welcome to welfare. People just don't want to change their life station. I mean, that's how you knew that it was totally disingenuous. They wanted to keep their job, but they wanted everybody else to protect grandma for them. Now, if you want to protect your grandma, you fucking protect your grandma. But the fucking concept that we're protecting these people by having them stand in Walmart next to me and you and other fucking people is ridiculous. Like, I mean, I saw the other day a lady with a mask on over her fucking oxygen mask in the fucking line at the fucking hardware store. I'm like, man, you should not be out. You definitely shouldn't be out. Like, you're already fucking breathing in straight oxygen. So they've got these people so terrified.
So I got a question about the big box stores for you guys. Mm-hmm. But before I ask this question, I want to say, Alan spent years in healthcare. He understands the protocol of when you're dealing with, the very, very sick. I spent 5 years in healthcare. I was in occupational health, but still we had training every year, in occupational health. And I had some cursory knowledge of what they do, to protect this, protect the folks in ICU and whatever. But the question I have is, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. We'll let Robert chime in on this first. When you have
make sure to mention that, because I will take all the oxygen in the room.
Yeah, because we don't want Robert to fall asleep over there.
I'm having a blast, man. I like just being part of the along for the ride. So
I do not do well on stuff like this, because especially when I'm fired up about the topic, because I would just.
No, this is why I host a podcast, because I like to be the one that just asks the questions and then just listen to the answers. So I have no problem not talking. I mean, anybody that knows my wife knows that she does a lot of the talking, and I just kind of sit back and just listen and make little comments here and there. So I'm all good.
Anybody watching, this is obviously different from what we normally do. But with that said, it's debate and discussion, and that's healthy. So let's talk about the city you're in, whatever city that is. Mm-hmm. If you take those people and you suddenly don't allow them to disperse, to go to this market or that market or this place for soap or that place for whatever, and then you centralize them in 3 spots, Walmart, Lowe's, whatever, the grocery store. You're centralizing people rather than letting them disperse more. Do you feel, and I'll let you lead with Robert, that that's the best plan? Mask issue aside, that's the best plan. We concentrate people in 3 locations rather than letting them be a little bit more naturally dispersed. Is that the best plan?
I wouldn't think. No, I mean, if you're like you just mentioned, you're highly concentrating everything, so you're forcing everybody into this one little nexus where it's going to be a lot closer compact. There's going to be closer contact. People are going to be rubbing them closer than they probably were. Other people will be coughing on food, then adjusting their mask, picking up something, and doing. If dispersion, sure, you might have more spread because one person's going here, then going somewhere else and going up, but you're going to have I would think much more exponential growth or transmission of something if you're closely compacting everybody into, a handful of spaces rather than dispersing them across, multiple acres and counties and stores and locations like that.
I'm not saying I have all the science on this. I'm simply posing a question because I think it's a question we should be asking. And Alan, I'm sure you've come across this question many times in your journey this year.
Well, part of it is, you would now have people interacting with people they would never interact with before.
Right.
And it's so more like what we did, I was when all this shit broke down, I was literally on a cruise. The post I made when people got really, 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 really pissed at me, I was drunk off my ass in Cozumel, Mexico. Some girl had just been pouring fucking tequila shots down my wife's throat. I'm not shitting you. So we're back on the fucking ship, and I'm getting ready to listen to a concert with the fucking my country rap friends, and I see this shit come across where people are talking about curfews and shit, and I'm like, the fuck? I was like, I'm seeing people fucking talk about a curfew and all sorts of shit, and I straight up said, I'm not 14 years old. The government's not my mom. They work for me and the rest of us. So fuck a curfew, and never, ever, ever. And I know this is where people get upset. Never, ever give up your rights, ever, ever. And if you just don't believe that, that's fine. But I'm the type of person I'm sorry, but I love being free. I love being a free person. And I've heard I did a video the other day for my channel that got deleted. My YouTube channel got deleted. My opinion course channel got deleted. But the fucking the number I have that for giving up rights for this virus, the number of deaths would have been 100% of the United States. I want to be a free person forever. I'd rather live free or die type thing. And I know for a lot of people that's not it. But when you look at this, people were so pissed. The very first thing we did, because I started doing research drunk on the ship, but the very first thing we did was we sent all the college kids home. It's so radically dumb. Okay, so we're going to now send a group of teenagers, basically, who've been crawling all over each other for months now during a global pandemic. And they've obviously, they've been at spring break and everything like that. And it was so clear that the virus had been in America way before they fucking thought it was. You're not going to catch patient zero. Out of 330 million fucking people in the United States, we think we're going to catch patient zero in the United States. It was so radically stupid. It's it just defies logic. So I'm already assuming, I believe I made a video about this, where I'm already assuming by the time we knew about it, there's already fucking 10 million people probably fucking infected with a highly contagious virus. Yeah. And now we're going to send college kids home in airplanes or road trips or whatever to their middle-aged parents with their elderly grandparents. It's the dumbest we did the dumbest shit ever. They never closed down the airports, not fucking one time. Shelter in place unless you need to fly to fucking LA. And it's so dumb. San Francisco was on complete lockdown, but I could have flown in there. I could have flown to fucking San Francisco. Right. So fucking radical.
These are all things we talked about back in the day. I actually remember
subway system never closed down in New York.
I came back from Scotland about the time Robert was on the cruise, and we had been screened asking if we'd been to China. And I remember we were in a group, Alan, and Elgin. And I remember saying something to Alan, and I knew he was on the cruise, and he was like, "COVID, what? Huh? Fuck, what? Huh? Fuck." I remember I'm thinking to myself, the shit's about to get real, and Alan's going to return. I wasn't even sure if you'd be able to return at that point.
We weren't either. We at one point in time, we were like, "Oh shit, they might fucking leave us out on the fucking ship." Yeah. And I was like, all my favorite bands are here, and there's lots of fucking alcohol. I'm fucking good. I knew a couple guys that had a fucking few 420s, and I'm fucking fine. But like it's this fucking. It was this weird scenario. Like I don't even know how it got to that. Like I don't get it. Like it was so against logic. I didn't understand. Like Crystal and I joke all the time that we actually went through like a wormhole, like in Cozumel, and like this is a whole different like dimension of shit, because it's like seems like so like we left on the ship, everything in Florida was wide open and like that, and when we got back, it's like this eerie feeling. Nobody's on the road, and like your neighbors are like walking the dog, but they're like looking around as if like you're gonna fucking give them the coop or something like that. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm young and healthy. Like, here's my thing, dude. Like, I used to fucking wear a shirt that said, if I don't have to think about my insurance, it's not heavy enough when I would squat. I mean, there's inherent risk in everything you fucking do. And if I was willing to smash myself underneath fucking 550 fucking pounds multiple times a fucking week, cold's not going to fucking stop me from going to the bar, Yeah. I just don't get it. Like I'd rather live my life, especially based off of the fucking data. That's the thing.
It's silly now. It's like this. So tomorrow, like our kids in daycare, and thank God the daycare's been open through this whole thing. Like the owner's adamant, we're not shutting down, whatever else. One of the little girls in her class is having a birthday party tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It's in this indoor rock climbing wall place. And I called up. You have to sign a release form that says, hey, if I fall off for being a dumbass, I won't sue you for breaking my leg or whatever. Mm-hmm. They've added a COVID disclosure to that saying, if you catch this here, blah, blah. So I signed it. So I called them up.
There's not a way in the fucking world they could prove you caught it there. Right. I mean, they're not a it's not a way in the motherfucking world.
Oh, yeah. And then so I called them up. And I said, all right, I'm not going to hold you responsible if I catch it there, blah, blah, blah. I call them up because on their website it says, you have to wear a mask while you're rock climbing in our facility. I'm thinking, wait, the city ordinance says I don't have to wear this if I'm exercising or not within 6 feet of people. So I called the business up, said, hey, I've already signed this COVID disclosure. You going to force me to wear one when I walk in there? My doctors told me not to wear one. They said, you have to be in here. I said, I'm not going to that birthday party tomorrow now, man. Fuck off. That's not happening.
All right, I want to ask you.
We got to the point where people have to like, and you didn't even realize you just did it. Because Steve, when you and I talk all the time, you do it too. You're like the rules say I'm supposed to do this. No, the rules say you can do whatever the fuck you want, say whatever the fuck you want, bear arms and do whatever the fuck you do. The rules are the Constitution. When somebody fucking goes against the Constitution, that's the fucking problem. And all these stores, I'm guaranteeing you this will stop. At the beginning, like here soon, people are gonna start suing these stores, like suing them because, like. What if I have PTSD and can't wear a mask? What if I have high anxiety and can't wear a mask? What if I have COPD and can't wear a mask? What if I just don't want to fucking wear a mask because it causes me anxiety? It proved to me that this is not dangerous for me because I can produce studies saying that wearing a mask consistently can cause things like bacterial pneumonia, especially if you do not wash the mask properly. If like watching people put their masks on and off makes me laugh. Like I literally laugh on a daily basis when people are holding, like all these politicians talk about how important masks are, and then I do this. Immediately, they're completely discredited because now you're going to take this and put it up over your fucking face. So no germs land on your neck. So you're just touching your fucking face. So I mean, the whole thing is just radically fucking stupid. And I'm even though even though I'm a fucking total spaz, Steve, like you guys both know, I'm a big science nerd. Numbers, like statistics person, that's where I start my basis, and then I figure in the human factors from there. Because numbers are numbers; they're finite, they're fixed, it's what they fucking are. And then there's extrapolation and elaboration, right? But when we fucking, as soon as you see a politician go like that with their mask, or just take their mask off and then put it back on, they sit it on the fucking counter, like fucking Biden set his fucking mask on a fucking counter the other day, or on the fucking podium the other day, closed in his book, and then fucking put it back on. Like, I'm sorry, like you have no credibility. Like, I mean, a surgical mask, like they actually they don't stay sanitary. Like, yeah. I don't even know how to fucking explain it to people. Like, you are supposed to sanitize your hands to take the mask off. You are supposed to put a brand new one on after you sanitize your hands again. Put it on, being careful not to touch your face and then sanitize your hands again and not touch that motherfucker until you're ready to fucking not wear a mask. Like, that's the fucking procedure. Anything else and you risk infecting yourself at a higher rate. And I've seen so many people getting like that. Like, you can't prove that they're infecting themselves at a high rate. Like, oh my God, common sense fucking dictates. If you touch your fucking face more often, you're gonna fucking infect yourself with bacteria and viruses more fucking often because you touch shit and then you touch your fucking face.
Yeah.
Well, if 2020 has taught us anything, it's that there's more people out there that lack common sense and logic skills than we imagine. Yeah, I want to say I'm one of these rare people that has reactive airway disease. Like, if I'm out running and I get a piece of cottonwood in my throat or a fiber from a mask, I get a bronchial spasm and I stop breathing. Literally, it happens 5 to 10 times a year. I got it on film in the documentary at least 3 times. And like, to wear a mask literally for me, is like, I can't. There's no way I'm going to risk it because it's sitting on the dash. There's dust on the thing. I'm going to breathe it in. I have a risk of that. I'm going to stop breathing or my airway is going to lock up. So there are legitimate people out there with issues, but like, I was in Walmart a month ago and I sent you guys a message. We walked into Walmart and a lady ran in after me screaming and called the police. And like, hey, if you didn't want me to wear a mask in Walmart, just say it. I would have left. I'm not going to cause any issue, but it's like, there's no more of that. No one gives a shit if you have a medical issue, a legit medical issue. No one, it's just like, call the police, get out of here. You're a heretic.
It's amazing. It's amazing how quickly it became like, we're all like, I used to get called an ableist all the time because I say that if you're morbidly obese, you're sick. Because you are, because it's fucking fact. And to the morbidly obese people that just got really fucking upset, you wouldn't be slated as some of the first people to get to take the vaccine if you weren't high risk from being morbidly obese, you dumb fucks. But I used to get called an ableist all the time. So now you're telling you have to wear a mask no matter what. Please go tell a rape victim that was raped while her mouth was being covered so she couldn't scream that she's got to wear a mask. You should go to some of those support groups and let them inform them that, because they might have a virus that somebody might get that has a 99 point like fucking 4 or 99 point like, what is it, 6 or 7? 99.6 or 7 overall infection fatality rate. Just off of the U.S. numbers, yet alone, if you look at globally, the infection fatality rate is less than the fucking flu. It's like 0.17 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so tell them there. So you go to the dude that fought for our fucking country, who was blown up in his fucking Jeep and burnt all over the fucking place and fucking trauma and everything like that he's got to fucking wear a mask. Because it's just, it's for the fucking, fuck all you motherfuckers. You fucking virtue signaling fucking weak ass pussy ass motherfuckers who are fucking think that anybody else is responsible for your health. That's the problem. We got to the stage in society where it was okay to think that everybody else was responsible for you, and that everybody else should look out for you. That's not the fucking real world. It's like, I saw the fucking crazy people in the comment section, like, you like Trump. I don't like any politician. I'm on record saying I don't like any politician. I made a fucking video joking that I would run for president in 2020 just as a fucking joke, stating that I fucking hated all politicians, # reelect nobody in 2022, because I really believe that we should just fucking start fresh. I fucking totally believe that. But if you want to...
Hey, Philip, if you don't like COVID, get the fuck off the channel.
Yeah.
It's my channel. Go fuck yourself.
So this conversation shouldn't be had. Like for real. Like, does it hurt you to fucking hear this shit? Like, this conversation shouldn't be had. There's really no more relevant fitness conversation. I see people asking, like, well, should I put rack pulls on the same day as I train squats? I'll answer that question for you. If you're wondering, you're probably not training hard enough for it to matter. I'm just gonna be real. First of all, why are you doing rack pulls to begin with? If you are wondering whether you should do rack pulls and squats in the same fucking day, go ahead, do it. If you like it, keep doing it. If you don't like it, don't fucking do it. Like, it's the overcomplication of that shit. Like, that's what amazes me. We'll see thousands of videos talking about whether you should have your rack pulls and squat days and the benefits and the optimization, but we won't say lose a little bit of weight so a fucking normal fucking bad cold won't fucking kill you. You know, like, it's fucking crazy.
I want to talk about moving forward because I'm going to play the devil's advocate a little bit. Moving forward, we're setting a precedent here. On one hand, we're setting a precedent. Like, this is how we're going to react to everything for the rest of our life. We're going to live in a bubble, and what are we going to do when COVID's gone? We're going to do this with the flu. That's the question. But on the other hand, in times past, we've dealt with pandemics. People wore masks, and then things returned to normal, right? So
No,
that's the question.
that actually didn't happen. That actually didn't happen. You're the only time that the people actually wore masks.
These are the conversations that are taking.
Okay.
The conversations that are taking place with the vaccine, like it's mandatory for kids to take, to have vaccines, to enter school. My wife had to have her vaccine records before she could come into the country and become a citizen, right? So there's these arguments on the other side of the field. Are we being too responsive? Are we overreacting? Are things going to return to normal? But I guess with the vaccine question, is this the way normally vaccines are handled? Is this the way they handled the pandemic vaccines in the past? And our things are going to return to normal, or did they return to normal in the past when we took measures like this?
Well, the only time we've ever really done the whole mask thing was 1918, and that's when just people think about the difference between our world right now and 1918. Okay, that was only in selected areas, and even fucking Dr. Anthony Fauci, you guys might have heard of him. He did a paper pretty much stating that 90% of the people that died of the Spanish flu in 1918 died of bacterial pneumonia, not the flu. So, and this is a fact. It's just facts. And that's the thing. Facts. All of a sudden, I say these things. I'm like, no, it's a fucking. He wrote the fucking paper. I didn't fucking write the paper for the fucking munchkin. What the fuck, But that's the only other time we've done that. And then life went back to normal. Within a year or two, I believe. Mm-hmm. Life should be back to normal right now. This is not the Spanish flu. I mean, it is not. We have worked a long time to make the Spanish flu into just what the fuck it is, the flu, and because that's what it is. People don't understand that. That's what it is. So the fucking thing is, about it is, we should be back to normal. There's not a reason why we shouldn't be. Lockdowns cause more damage than good. Period. Understand that. Period. Period. It is going to cause more systemic damage, death, and destruction over the course of the years than COVID could ever fucking hope to. Because here's the thing: COVID is not even I keep getting people I'm a conspiracy theorist. And they're like, you must think that COVID was created in a lab. I do not. You know why? Because it would be a much better virus. It would be a much deadlier virus. That's
true.
You do not have to fucking hype a seriously deadly. You don't need to hype Ebola.
Well, let's look at
Ebola is its own hype. It's its own hype person. You do not need to hype a seriously deadly. You do not need to try to scare people from a seriously deadly virus. You need to fucking convince people it. If it was really, really bad, you wouldn't need a test to find out if you fucking had it. I mean,
yeah. Well, there'd be bodies lined up in the streets. Everybody forgets the whole reason we started this 14-day lockdown sequestration period, whatever, to prevent the healthcare system from getting overloaded. The healthcare system never got overloaded. All these emergency hospitals they built never got fucking used. We flew an entire. We swam in an aircraft carrier.
Hey, right now, all the news on Drudge is that the hospitals, the ICUs are full.
They're full all the fucking time this time of year.
Right, that's what they don't talk about.
Full all the fucking time. Hospitals are designed to run between 85 and 95% capacity at all fucking times to minimize fixed costs from plant, facility, board member salaries, profit, the certain amount of profit, reinvestment funds, they're designed to run between 85 and nobody fucking builds a hospital to keep that motherfucker empty. They're cash cows. Right. And nobody does that. You can look it up any fucking where. 85 to 95% is the normal capacity of any fucking hospital. It just is. And that's just capacity. And this is what another thing they don't fucking tell you. So listen up, lemmings. The capacity they list is just the licensed beds. Almost every hospital has like 2 or 3 fucking floors that they can relicense those beds and fucking fit more people in. That's why all of a sudden when you hear about like this hospital's full and then they keep fucking taking people, it is just fact. Every year during flu season, the fucking hospitals are full or over capacity. This really was no different. And seeing as how it's eradicated the fucking flu, which the reality, I don't know if you guys know this, but like there's no flu this year.
Right. No, I posted that about a month ago.
That might actually be a real thing. Just be real.
I was pretty much blasted off Facebook for being a fool.
Well, it's just statistics. People aren't getting diagnosed with the fucking flu this year, But that might be 2 things. One, they might be they might actually be just testing everybody for COVID and not testing for the flu because they get more money from people having COVID than the flu. That's a reality also. But it also could be that there are 2 competing viral strains. One is much more infective and causes people to be isolated. And because nothing we're doing right now is going to stop the flu either. It wouldn't stop the flu. It's a virus. You dumb fucks.
That's what I always let people say. I'm just ready for the virus to be over. You understand a basic fundamental knowledge of biology.
It's never going to be over. It's never, ever, ever going to be over. A huge reason why it's a bad cold. It's 80% the same genetic makeup as a coronavirus. And somebody in the comments asked about that. The common cold is a strain of what's called a coronavirus. So coronavirus isn't just COVID. Coronavirus is a bunch of strains, or a bunch of strains of one. It's a family, right? So this is just a new version. It's a new bad version of the cold, of the common cold. That's what it is, period. And so calling it a bad cold, if that made your sphincter fucking pucker, shut the fuck up. But it's just a bad cold. And I know when I say just in front of COVID, people are like, 300,000 people have died in America. I get you. But I did put the word bad in front of it. It's fucking, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. A huge portion of the people that passed away, and I mean huge portion of the people that passed away could have been saved if we would have isolated them. A huge portion. A huge portion of those people could have been saved if we didn't just fucking vent them right away, because all of a sudden now we realize that venting people kills people.
Or if they had taken better care of themselves to begin with, their body would have been more prepared to handle the virus in the first place.
Exactly. But like the thing about the venting thing, like the issue with the virus was not that they couldn't get oxygen in their fucking lungs. It was that their fucking lungs weren't fucking processing the fucking oxygen. So we're just venting people, fucking putting positive pressure into their fucking lungs, and it's fucking killing people. Fact. We could have saved so many people, but a lot of these people were going to pass away already. They just were. It's something like what? So 300. Say we get to number 300,000 people. That means that 18,000 of those people died of COVID statistically. The rest died with it. Okay. The 18,000 of 90% of those people were also advanced age. So people under 65 that died of COVID, it's 1,800 people. And that's math, okay? Like you can go, and if you doubt me, you can go to the CDC website and you can download all this information and do the math yourself.
Well, here's the thing, Robert. 1,800, or Alan, I keep calling you Robert because I'm just used to Robert being on here. Alan, 1,800 people. That's it under 65, right?
Yeah.
If you think of how many people are really, really, really in bad shape under the age of 65, just really poor health, really bad stages of drug abuse, alcohol addiction.
That's where the majority of obesity is at too, because people don't get to be 65 and stay obese.
Right. That's a very small number, factoring obesity and how many sick people there are, really sick people there are between 55 and 65. And like you said, that's the that's the target of obesity. Those are the target years of obesity, 55 to 65, when people are getting the plugs pulled.
It's I mean, there's no justification in what we've done, right? None, like none. With history, and this is what I've enjoyed. And I think I told you this at the very beginning. At the very beginning, like I was receiving like daily death threats, like for real, like daily death threats, like it's always the Instagram people. And I've learned not to fucking worry about it. Like I normally, like as soon as they send a death threat, I try to fucking voicemail. I try to fucking video call them, like as soon as they fucking do it. So it's really quick. All of a sudden, like, oh, I was just trolling. Like you fucking sent me a death threat. Like fucking crazy shit.
Hey, for those people that are tired of
yeah, we can talk about this shit now if you guys want to. I'll fucking gladly talk about this.
Hey, maybe we'll get featured in a Greg Doucette video.
He was not going to say my fucking name.
There's
I'm the fucking boogeyman. Somebody messaged me like, I hope Elgin does a fucking video on this. Like, dude, if he's afraid of the fucking Herald, he's definitely not going to fucking talk about Galactus. Like fucking. Let's be real.
So Robert's living in a hole. I don't think Robert knows exactly what's going on with Greg.
For real deal, though, I do think Greg Doucette's wildly entertaining, and I think he has pretty good knowledge. I think he's got great knowledge when it comes to what half his channel was just steroid tutorials. And I think he's got decent nutritional knowledge. Obviously, he's got a fucking master's degree. I just think he's a shitty person. So, I really do. And I'm gonna I'm gonna do this is why I wanted to come on here, because I figured it would get asked. I did not make a video or videos about Greg Doucette because of anything that any videos he's made on any of my friends, because he's made videos. They obviously, like the people that run his channel, because he's fucking not running his fucking channel. You can go back 2 years. If you think that person's running this channel, you're a fucking idiot. But so let me break it down real quick. Here's reality. If the very second that I have a one-on-one, online or in person or on the phone, friendly conversation with somebody, the second they start letting me into their life, I will never, ever, ever mention them in a negative way on film ever again, no matter who the fuck they are, ever. And it amazes me that people expect me to do so when my entire fucking job is based off of people being able to tell me very, very private secrets about their health, weight loss, and their eating disorders and shit like that. People thinking that I would ever break trust of somebody to blast them out for views on fucking YouTube, which people don't even grasp, but YouTube is like a fucking fraction of what it's like. Fucking the fun part of my fucking job. It's a fraction of what I fucking do. To make it so people couldn't trust me because I blast out my friends on videos instead of having a private conversation with them is full on fucking detached and stupid. It really is. So if people are wondering like why I didn't like address the whole fucking thing with Jeff and blah, 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 maybe I did to him personally, but why would I make a video about it? That's fucking ridiculous. Like everybody else make the videos. That's what you guys are here for. Yeah. I'm totally fine with it. Like, here's how you know that I don't think that you're wrong or that you don't have a right to. If I think somebody just comes after you or any of my fucking friends, I've got this thing where I say, don't fuck with my friends. And so if I think they're wronging you, or if I think they don't have, I'm not even saying that everything that was like the people didn't have. I'm not saying that people didn't fucking massively elaborate on everything, but I massively elaborate when I talk about people for fucking comic effect too, because I'm trying to fucking get to the joke, because people don't realize I actually do try to fucking be funny. But I'm not going to address that shit because I'm never, ever, ever, ever. I'm not that dude. Like I am not that guy. I am not that guy that fucking snitches on my friends. I am not that guy that fucking, will turn like let me tell you something. There are people right now in fitness, not even just YouTube fitness, but in fitness, who I was once friends with, who I am not anymore, who say really radically fucking stupid things almost on a daily basis, and their name will never come out of my mouth, because I would never, ever, ever want any of my clients to see me make a video about somebody they know I've been friends with and I know I've had conversations with, to see me put them on blast. That would, I could not imagine being that person, ever being able to trust me to tell me like, hey, I ate a pizza when I fucking shouldn't have.
Well, that's such a big difference in like the new generation, like trust, like the whole conversation of snitching, Greg Doucette aside, it's a trust thing. Blasting your friends in public, like you guys aren't going to wake up and see me blasting you in public. If we got an issue, we take it up, for face to face. When I was working with Robert, if I had an issue with his articles, I would tell him face to face, and Robert would understand that I was working in his best interest. I'd be like, Robert, try not to do this because of this, and that. And Alan and I have definitely had some interplay. When I first met Alan, I told him, don't make fucking videos about yourself, whatever. Not like you were, but we were honest. I sat in your kitchen and you told me I was a fat fuck, that I was gaining weight. And I took that seriously. And that's how friends work. But we don't make videos about each other.
No, to me, that's, and I actually did fucking phrase it like that, but that's just how I talk. It sounds so harsh when people repeat my own words back. Sometimes I'm like, did I really fucking say that?
Wow.
But I just talk. So, but
fat fuck, but we were just really drunk.
But reality though, like, I mean, one, it was your occupation. Two, like, people don't get like I have problems with food. I know you have problems with food.
Right.
Like, I mean, I think most people do, right? I think some people just manifest differently. And me and you just happen to be guys that have problems with food, love to fucking eat. Like Steve and I went to this one fucking sushi place by his house, and fucking they were like, no more. We don't have any fucking more food. Like we just fucking kept eating, back in the day. Like, I mean, I was the type of person where when I was bulking, when I was trying to get really, really strong, dude, I could eat like fucking 4 Big Macs. And fucking eat dinner. Like that would be lunch, and I could still fucking eat dinner. Like I could fucking pack away 8,000 calories in a day some days, And to me, people pointed out to me, this is not healthy. Whether it's polite, not polite, like I was called fat fuck all the time on YouTube, and I was just like, okay, fucking, let's be real. The man boobs don't lie. I was a fat fuck, and then and I accepted that because it's about being strong, right? Because fucking, I'm trying to prove I got a penis. And then, after all of a sudden, then the health effects started, like sleep apnea started setting in and shit like that. Like, oh, fuck, like time to fucking wake up. And that's why I'm very, like, I know it's bad for you. So that's why even with my friends, I'm like, fuck that shit. Like, I mean, fucking, you need to cut this shit out for you, for your best benefit. And that's why I fucking said it. I have no problem having like very serious, harsh conversations with people, even about their content in private.
Why do people expect you to take that in public with a friend? I mean,
because a snitch would. Yeah, I mean, a snitch would want me, like, and people that idolize that. Like, here's my thing. I might as well admit this because, well, it's legal here. So, I smoke weed. I have a raging ADHD. If you guys think that this fucking shit just shuts the fuck off at night, you're fucking crazy. Okay, it absolutely doesn't. And I mean, I don't sleep well and shit like that. So I don't even really drink anymore. But I will puff on some weed. And I live in Florida, so it's decriminalized, so I'm fine. But I mean, my thing about it is I know that. I mean, I know it's not perfectly healthy for me, but I'm going to fucking do it. And I know it's illegal because I don't have a card. So I know it's illegal. So if the police show up at my door and like, hey, you have weed on you, you're in trouble. Here's what you're doing. The last thing in the fucking world I'm going to do is fucking put my problems and my choices and my fucking own decisions on other people. You know what I mean? Like that. I'm sorry. No weed dealer made me buy the fucking weed. Nobody made me smoke the motherfucker. Nobody made me roll the fucking blunt. Nobody but me. So I'm going to take responsibility for me. So if I was, I don't know, in an international drug smuggling ring, and I got fucking caught for my own fucking stupidity, I would keep my mouth fucking shut. And a lot of people are like, you wouldn't know. You don't know. I saw a fucking Scott Herman video today where you don't know what you do. I'd keep my mouth fucking shut. I can guarantee you I'd keep my mouth fucking shut. Like I wouldn't put myself in that dumbass fucking position and have $250,000 worth of fucking steroids in my fucking house. But I certainly would not fucking rat on my friends. And that's my point by it. And now I don't have a problem with him doing it. And I don't have a problem with people not caring that he did it. My opinion about it is what it is. Like, you know, I think he's a wildly entertaining character. He clearly plays a character. And before he even mentioned any of my friends, and I kind of saw him make a video. I mentioned him in a video, and then and this is why I don't make videos on. I don't really make positive. I try to stay away from making videos about people. I was for a while because I hate putting my name next to somebody's, because then I do research on him and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? You know, it's clear that there's some shady fucking shit, and now I've attached my fucking name to that. So, you know, here and there, but I knew about this shit months and months and months before he even mentioned any of my fucking friends, you know? So that's why I stopped fucking even bothering talking to him. People wanted us to collab because the whole screaming thing and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'm good. You know, well, he's so popular. He's not here. Whoever is pumping out the videos for Greg, who's ever doing the editing, because he's not. Who's ever doing the editing, who's ever doing all that shit, they are doing a good job with the SEO. They're doing a good job with the thumbnails. They're doing a good job with everything like that. And he is a smart man for letting them, because nobody gave a fuck about him beforehand. I mean, people that wanted to know about steroids did, but like the generalized audience didn't, and fucking the stats show. So I don't have a huge problem with him. I don't have a huge problem with his fanboys, because they are not people that spend money anyway. Most teenagers don't. So my issue is the fact that here's this dude who has had records stripped away from him for powerlifting. He got caught competing in natural competitions, setting national fucking records for powerlifting, got caught and got the record stripped away from him. First of all, most powerlifters I know hate that shit. Like, whether they take drugs or not, they hate that shit. Don't cheat that shit. They fucking hate that shit. That's one. Two, then there's the whole steroid ring bust thing and I personally, since I did my research, saw the fucking information and thought he fucking snitched. There's that, and then there's the fucking ban he's got right now for biking, and there's some sort of weird fucking elaborate fucking Gilbert Gottfried voice story of how he didn't realize that it was going to be a tested event, even though it was a fucking event, blah, blah. Like, it's like, okay, how many lies are you going to say after getting caught for all this shit, right? So and it still doesn't bother me. Still make all the content you want. Still, I still find some of it wildly fucking laughable and entertaining, right? But to tell people you should trust me, I will tell you the truth, while the dude is talking to you in a fake voice with a fake fucking personality, having other people do his fucking thumbnails and videos, having been fucking had records stripped away from him, caught and snitched on people in an international drug smuggling ring, and is currently serving a ban for cycling. I'm sorry, I just am not going to take him as credible. And that's the end of that. Like for me, like I know that he thinks he's something. And that's good. Like, I mean, it's YouTube fitness. I mean, I do find it funny that he is openly bitching about people making videos about him, like the whole defamation video and all that shit. He's openly bitching about that. His fans saying, you're just saying Greg's name for fucking views when you're talking about Greg Doucette. I fucking love that. It's like, it's this fucking break.
That's what pot calling the kettle black.
It's this break in logic that is hilarious, you know?
One of my favorite comebacks when somebody says, you're just mentioning so-and-so for views. Like, okay, give me an extra nickel today, please, baby Jesus. I mean, seriously.
Show me when out of any 5 Greg Doucette videos where the majority of them don't have somebody else's name in the fucking title.
Well, I posted, I didn't even post a comment. I just posted a screenshot of the video from the gentleman that, you know, had the expose on. Mm-hmm. I didn't make a comment. I didn't get into commentary. People can make up their own mind and watch the video.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, I got tons of comments about, I didn't think you would get involved with drama. Like, you're talking about me getting involved with drama for posting a thumbnail about somebody who makes a living off of drama, and you watch him. So
The thing is, you know who they remind me of? And this is not a mark against him. He reminds me of Genova, and they remind me of Piss Troopers. Just is.
Yeah, but we were talking. The Piss Troopers had power. This has nothing to do with Greg Doucette, but his followers don't even have testicles. They're just like, you said that. I mean, excuse me for blowing up your eardrums, but that's
a good imitation. Somebody says, do you guys think that Greg is providing at least decent information for fitness or just getting views? I don't know really. Like, I like his train harder thing. Train harder than the last day is not really a fitness method. That's an athleticism method, just to be very fucking honest. Training harder than the day before is not like training is not a linear progression. So athleticism wise, that's intelligent. Health wise, it's full on fucking stupid. Because it doesn't take into account any fucking thing. Yeah, find me 5 videos. Find me 5 videos in a row. Find me 5 videos in a row where more than 3 of them don't have somebody else's name in them.
So I mentioned to you this morning, not on here that
By the way, when Greg Doucette fans find this, if he wants to clear any of this up, if he's not a pussy ass coward snitching bitch, he can come on my channel and me and him can talk about it live. Fuck, I tell you this right now, if he's not afraid of it, I know he turned down $1 million to go prove somebody was drug free. I know he turned down that, so I don't think he'd fucking come all the way across the border for my ass. But I'll fly his ass down to Florida and we can do it live.
So we were talking about this morning, like Greg knows a lot about bench press, right? Greg was a big bench presser. Mm-hmm. Greg could make a lot of content about bench press, and it would probably be very, very helpful. But this is his videos. I'm not passing judgment. I'm just like telling you what his videos are. Some about Tom Lazarick, Jesse James West, some Abby Shark. I don't know who the fuck these people are. Cali Muscle, and then
why do a Natty or Not video on Cali Muscle? I mean, so many people were pissed at Cali Muscle for saying that, like, he kind of insulted Greg's wife. I've had people insult my wife and me a lot, and nobody's ever said shit. So I was kind of surprised that the pussy ass motherfuckers went to that. But why? I'm pretty sure that Natty or Not about Cali Muscle's been pretty fucking decided. I'm pretty sure that that's not even a fucking question, especially because he admits it. Yeah. And to do that, I'm sorry, but I'm not and Steve and everybody knows this. I am not a Cali Muscle fan. I do not like people that live fucking stereotypes and shit like that.
Right.
But he's a grinder. He makes his fucking money, and he fucking believes in himself. That can't be taken away from him or most of these motherfuckers. And I will say this: Greg Doucette has a lot more balls than 99.999% of his fans, because he'll at least put himself out there and fucking and say that shit. So look at where credit's due,
Look at this video. Jeffrey Schofeld reviews my training book. I've been interacting with this gentleman, Jeffrey, because I happened to see this video, and I went over and noticed he made a video about Greg Doucette. And, Jeffrey was very, very neutral, and he did a very intelligent review of Doucette's book. But what Doucette did was put a very limited view of this review, and basically, it resulted in Schofeld getting a lot of heat for his review when his review actually had a lot of positive stuff. So Greg used a lot of hyperbole, filtered the information a lot, and only gave certain slants that, would send the tribe into a frenzy, if you know what I'm saying.
It was tribe.
It was completely disingenuous, and that's the type of guy you're dealing with, a guy that says, trust me. A guy does a review on his fucking book, has a lot of good things to say, maybe a few bad things to say, and, this guy's saying, trust me, when he's sending in the soldiers to go to battle.
Somebody says, I mean, Greg openly says he makes money from clout. If Greg was only so open about his other shit, and no, if Greg openly says that, then why do his why do his fans, and this is an honest question, why do his fans say that everybody else that mentions his name is clout chasing? I am going to point out something, though. And this is just real. So I'm going to get a little closer to the microphone, a little closer to the camera. If somebody can call you a lying ass fucking snitch looking straight into the fucking camera, they didn't chase the clout. They just came and fucking took it if you don't respond. Just saying. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Grady says, a terrible montage over Schofield's view. I saw him joke. Yeah, I agree. And somebody said, do I think he puts out good fitness information? This is just to be true. I'm nobody to judge anybody's form. That's not my fitness shit. Okay, like I don't do that content. I don't profess that. You will probably never find a tutorial video on my fucking YouTube channel because that's never been me. I back in the day, I probably had some of the prettiest squat form of anybody I knew. Besides that, my bench press sucked, my deadlift sucked, fucking everything else fucking sucked. So that's not my shit. Do I think he puts out good information? From what I understand, he does. I will say this: his deadlift information should be closer to rack pull information for the normal size human being. But because the leverage difference between, like, when you look at him line up on a deadlift, his shins are so short that it's like a below the knee rack pull. Just saying, and that's not being mean. That's just fucking reality. Again, just real. It's the leverages are much different for somebody that is 5'1" versus 5'10", you know? And then somebody said, I thought the $1 million thing was a joke. Dude, let me tell you something. If somebody said, I'll fly you in here for $1 million for something that I said I would bet my life on, your ass better fucking believe I'd walk there. You know what I mean? Like, if I had to. It's $1 million fucking dollars, you know? If you're gonna fucking throw out, you're gonna try to discredit somebody's reputation, and they're saying, well, come prove it, I'll give you $1 million if you're right. And then you don't, you're a bitch. I mean, like, you're a bitch, just to be real. Like, if you believe something so wholeheartedly that you're going to put it out there that could possibly hurt somebody's career, and then they call you on it, and then you don't fucking take them up on it, you are a bitch, full on. And that was my opinion. The whole prop plate thing. To be real, Steve, you can attest to this. How many years have I said, don't believe anything you see these motherfuckers do? Any of them. And I mean, me, don't believe shit you see me do. What I can physically do has no bearing on you. None. Like, absolutely none. Steve's worked out with me and knows, like, I'm genetically super fucking lucky. Like, I mean, and I know this. I am fucking super lucky. I'm very explosive. I've got good leverages. I've got, big fucking broad shoulders. I'm fucking super lucky. And I fucking can just kind of turn it off in my brain and just keep fucking going. That's what Sit Fu for 6 was. You know, like, Sit Fu for 6, I think the one fucking time I deadlifted something like 70,000 pounds in volume in a fucking hour or 50 minutes or something like that. Like, I did 265 5 times a minute every minute for fucking 50 minutes. You know, I'm able to fucking turn it off. But what I can do, nothing. Bears nothing on you motherfuckers. Don't believe anything you fucking see on this camera. And if you hear me, anybody, me, Jeff Cavalier, Greg Doucette, fucking anybody say any fucking thing about any fucking thing, especially when you're going to do it with your body, do your own fucking research too. What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, these people make money from fucking views. You should fucking check every fucking thing, you know? Stupid. So I have no problem. Like, my thing is, I don't really have a problem with him, except he wants to run in and jab and then leave. And I'm the type of drink from the skull of my enemy versus I'm going to slap you and run away.
Hashtag understatement.
You know? And I understand he's not going to engage with me because I don't give a fuck about him. I don't give a fuck about his fans, and his audience is not my audience. And I personally think that Greg Doucette is a lion ass snitch. And I'll say it openly, and I've said it openly before. Nothing about that whole thing, especially seeing the document and all these things around it. That's what I believe. He wants to deny that. That's fine. He's allowed. And his fans can deny that, or his fans can decide they don't give a fuck, because I see that a lot too. He's talked about this already. Doesn't change it. Like, that does not change it. You know, like
the way you phrase it in the video, like, if a man cheats on his wife, he doesn't get an out clause just because he admits it, right? Right. Okay, I cheated on my wife. Okay, it's good. It's not good. It's not as simple as that. Mm-hmm. There's more layers and depths to a person's character than saying, yes, I did that. That's that's not the same as reforming or changing or sincerely apologizing or any of that stuff.
Hey, I can talk about how I'm totally a disingenuous person that fucking that broke your trust. Congrats. That means you're okay talking about it. Like that. I mean, it's the same analogy to me. Like,
so we covered COVID and Greg Doucette. What do we have left, Robert?
I don't know. And to the Greg Doucette fans, by the way, I fucking take up all the oxygen. I know, but I feel bad. Like I posted on my fucking Instagram and Facebook. Like, unfortunately, sometimes this actually is. I don't play a character. Unfortunately, this just is me sometimes. But I don't. It's weird. I've been in the YouTube fitness shit, and I actually try not to be in YouTube fitness because I really don't do their content. I'm not going to be like the 5 best exercises to build bigger bicep, blah 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 blah.
Build them fast, Robert.
Yeah, build them fast. I don't fucking do that shit.
Alan, your fucking name's Alan.
Alan. But here's my thing. Greg and several people saw what was working. That you were able to come in and do critique videos on people now, and it was gonna get your views. You're welcome. But anyway, I mean, like it's my thing about it is I hear more F-bombs than when I worked in the oil rigs. Good motherfucker, good. I hope you're okay with that shit. But I don't have a humongous problem with him. In that, if you're going to talk shit, understand people are going to come back. You should go back, and he wants to hit and quit and run, and his fans are allowing it, and that's, Well, here's the thing. He should really just try to address it all, and maybe apologize. Maybe just say, I told you guys I wasn't a snitch ass bitch ass liar. I lied, because that's what snitch ass bitch ass liars do, and I'm sorry. And this stuff is for comedy. Don't take anything seriously. Don't go to anybody else's page and do this shit and accuse them of this shit that I'm saying, because you could be damaging their fucking businesses. Like, I do critique videos, but I will critique people's actual fucking information. He tries to take a look at somebody and then discredit them, by visual observation. And I find that to be incredibly fucked up, like incredibly fucked up. I will say, when this is dangerous about your information, you should be telling obese people to box jump, Steve Cook, you dumb fuck. You shouldn't be telling this is the dangerous part of what you're doing. Sitting there and talking about, I think this guy is using because of my laser eyes and blah 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 and Coach Greg and blah 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 whiny voice. That to me, you're asking for somebody to step back up. You're talking about them. You're not talking about their information. You're talking about them. So, I understand that he's not going to want to do that. He only does this with people that he thinks can't afford to respond back to him most of the time.
Right.
Like because they have larger businesses and shit like that. He doesn't want to actually fucking get dirty. You know what I mean? Like, with people that are going to fucking engage. He wants people to be able to fucking walk away and shit. And that's fine, but I have a hard time believing that this shit's going away, Well, and because other people need to answer for whatever shit they do, as we all should, this is on the fucking plate today.
Well, the thing is, like, you don't have to hang around YouTube fitness, air quotes, for very long to find out, to learn from those people that sank, how they sank, why they sank. And there's some themes going on here, and I'm not stepping out on the ledge and jumping off and saying, this is for sure going to happen. But there are some big signs here, and we talked about this. Making 7,000 videos a day, going after people, not coming clean about your past. I mean, you can't go after people and then expect them not to go after you. Or expect people watching not to go after you. And I mean, come on now. I mean, we've all made mistakes in the past to varying degrees, but you got a big pass like that, man. You got a lot of shit to explain. So I don't know. And going after people for a living, if that's what you want to do, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Dude, do you know how many people that I have spoken to, that I have spoken about, like I have called them dumbass motherfuckers, who I speak to on a daily basis now, who have come to me and been like, you know what, I saw your point later. Like, there's a young man, Paulie Calafiore. He was on he's on MTV, and he's training for the fucking Olympics right now. He's on the Olympic bobsledding team, and I tore his ass the fuck up. Tore him the fuck up because he's super knowledgeable, better pedigree than Doucette, everything like that. But he wasn't giving any he was doing online classes to just a generalized audience on his Instagram, not giving any modifications. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's fucking dangerous, you know? And I fucking made a video, fucking fucked with him about it, and blah, blah, blah. I did my thing, and I got him to be pissed off. And then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, I see his Instagram, and he's doing another workout video. And I'm like, yes, fucking, I'm going to fucking tear this shit up. He fucking applies all the changes I fucking suggested. I sent him a message. I'm like, I liked your video. He was like, I listened to everything you said. You were right. And I talk to him all the fucking time now. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to fucking shit. I'm good friends with Aaron, and fucking, I'm good friends with Antonio Santana, and I accused him of being a serial killer. Like dozens of times, like dozens and dozens of times, you know, like it's to me, like that's the comedy of shit and everything like that. And then it's dangerous information, you know.
Well, there's a theme there though. Like those that really want to help people, like I've been doing this shit for 9 years, and if you turn the clock back, I probably have my fair share of stupid advice videos, but you know, if somebody calls you on something, you have those that are willing to learn and evolve and grow because their focus is on helping people or improving their craft. Mm-hmm. And then you have those that if you call them on something, you know, they want to turn it into warfare. You know, they want to go to battle over something they're completely wrong about.
And it's always the like, because my thing is, let's talk about the fucking, like, we can throw jabs at each other all the time, and you know me, like I actually openly laugh at some of the shit people say. Like dude, right at the beginning of the fucking pandemic, when I just got I only had my chest tattoos done, like right here. I didn't have the rest of it done. I only had my chest done. And the one dude fucking posted a picture of me and next to a picture of the orc from fucking from Lord of the Rings, because he had like the fucking. I fucking thought that was. I posted it on my Instagram. I still laugh at that shit all the time. It was so fucking funny. Because the bald and it looked like my ears were pointing out and shit, because my ears are a little pointy. It was so funny. Like, if you can't laugh at yourself, what the fuck, man? I mean, I'm a bald fucking middle-aged guy that can't stop fucking swearing with fucking. I'm all wrinkled up and shit like that. Like, I find the humor in myself all the time. Well, so, you know, when guys make like interactive jokes between each other, like calling each other fat fucks or something like that, that's just fucking. That's just, to me, like. You both have spoken to me. You know that, like, I call everybody a motherfucker, and I will fucking sarcasm is my default, like literally, you know. Well,
agree or disagree to this, Alan. I mean, I grew up in a generation where we hung with our guys and we busted each other's balls, and I would rather have my friends busting my chops to my face because if they're not, they're probably busting my shit behind my back. And I mean, we would roll. We would tell everybody, you know, like, shut up, you fucking fat motherfucker.
Yeah.
And we, you know, that's just the way we were. We were brutally honest with our friends. We'd bust each other's nuts. We'd bust each other's, you know, tear each other apart, and then we'd get together the next day and do it again. And I don't think this generation knows how to process that. I don't know if it was the same for you, Robert. You're a little bit younger. I don't know what kind of environment you grew up in, but
I mean, no, it's like I am eternally grateful to my parents because they are both super sarcastic. My mom is a little bit more like sly about it. My dad is just like super dry, sarcastic. So I grew up in a very sarcastic household. And then my friends were all the same way. And then so like the first time Sandy ever met my family, she thought we hated her because we were always so sarcastic. We were just like slinging insults back and forth to each other. So, you know, but she's come around to it. She's not as sarcastic and dry as I am or, you know, anybody else in my family, but she gets it. And that's the same way it was always been. And like, you know, that was one of the great things about the trumpet section at LSU is that there were 70 something of us. and the vast majority, like 69 of the 75 of us, we're all sarcastic assholes towards each other. And it's just, I guess it's, like the younger generation, I don't know what it is.
The political correctness thing is fucking ridiculous.
That's what I was getting to. It's like this political correctness. Everybody has to speak their own truth, and you find your safe space. I'm like, what the fuck? There is right, there is wrong, there is a truth, and there is a falsehood. There is no your truth, my truth. There is the truth. It is absolute. That is the way it is.
I saw this one. Wait, but Cavalier didn't address the fake plays, so he didn't. Then don't watch him. Like, I mean, that's like, so I don't like, here's my thing. Greg does not need to address the snitch thing. He just doesn't. He doesn't. I suggest he does because it's not going to go away. He does not need to by any stretch of imagination. Like, the prop plate thing and everything like that, everybody uses them. Like fucking, like, I'm sorry, but like the dudes that are fucking busting his chops on it fucking use them too, And like the whole, like, he talked about the weight before he did it. I don't know why the fuck he did that. I don't. People misunderstand like our friendship too. Like Greg and I talk about like our dogs. Like or not Greg. I mean, Jeff and I talk about our dogs. I have never seen an Athlete X program. Somebody accused me of helping him write them. It's dumb. Like you know whose programs I see? Mine. I have run German volume training and 5x5. Those are the only other programs from anybody else I've ever run. Ever. I could not even set people up on how to do conjugate method. I couldn't. I don't know it. Why bother? Like, and everybody's like, oh, you're missing out. No. Like I physically achieved the shit I wanted to fucking achieve. So. And
I'm not sure what the bad leg workout that Jeff made that was dangerous. I don't remember seeing that.
Somebody said, I think it was something like 10x10 at 80%. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right to me. Maybe he means a different 80%. But here's my thing. So what? Like, I mean, like, I cannot even tell. Like, if people dissected my information, the way I talk, how many times I probably used the wrong word or the wrong fucking thing that I don't fucking notice on edit. But neither here nor there. If you don't like that he didn't address that shit, don't fucking watch him. Like, I mean, that's my thing. Like, don't watch him.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
If that bothers you, I'm not even saying you're not justified if that doesn't bother you. For real. Like, because like you need to decide who you want to fucking watch. I'm not trying to save subscribers for him. I don't fucking give a fuck if people watch him or not. I talk to my friends like they have become my friends. And I don't want to. I don't talk to my friends. If we're in the same business, I don't talk to my friends about their business because I don't want to know if they're doing better or worse than me or anything. I don't want it to fucking steal me. I don't fucking give a fuck.
Well, I gotta say this. Like, at the beginning of this year, I thought I would do was take the transcripts of my YouTube videos and compile the best information and turn it into like little books, Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, YouTube has a transcription feature where you can take all the text.
It doesn't work for me.
And when I look at that, I see how many mistakes I made, not purposely, and I'm not standing up for Jeff, but getting percentages wrong or calling thing the wrong name. You literally.
I'm not saying that that's what it was either. I don't know.
He could have meant 80% of your normal weight. There's many things he could have meant, and I'm not standing up for him. When I saw him say 10x10 by 80%, people asked me about that on a live video. I said, "There's no way you could physically do it. There's no way."
Because I still haven't watched it. If he said 80% of your 1 rep max, that's just fucking full on stupid. But if he meant 80%, like meaning like an RPE of like 7.5.
But I don't know. I don't know
what. I don't fucking care. Like I didn't. That was the weird thing.
I would have asked him.
I made the one video saying I'm obviously biased because people like I literally had to. Like it was like it was the only thing in my comment section. But for real, you don't want my opinion on my friends because I'm clearly biased about my friends. I'm not going to deny that I'm clearly biased about my friends. Like that's fucking ridiculous.
You know what's a great
no matter what I would say, if I would dog him again, we're back to the whole fucking thing where people are like, I can't believe that you would break that guy's trust. Yeah. And if I fucking defend him, one, I don't know enough about the topic to defend him because very, 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 very real guys. I don't watch Jeff's videos. Like, I don't watch them. Like, I don't have fucking time. Like, I watch them occasionally. I catch up on your stuff. I catch up on other people's stuff. I'm in this fucking chair filming or talking to clients for like 15 hours a fucking day, and then I work out for 2 hours a day, and then I cook food, and then I go to bed. You know, like that's not reality. You know, like I mean,
here's a greater concern for me, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Like cancel culture. These people that are just out there with their spears, waiting for one wrong word to fucking go and make 7,000 comments about something, and then they move on to the next thing. You know, the fact that our culture is like that, you know, a bunch of lunatics sitting behind a keyboard waiting for somebody to say the wrong word or even an opportunity so they can interpret it any way they want. That's a bigger concern for me. It makes it really fucking hard for content creators, even good ones, football announcers, you name it.
It is the nature of the game, though. Like when it comes around, when your time, if you say something stupid and your time comes around, your time comes around. Like I believe that. You know, like I mean, like you know, nobody's immune to that on YouTube or in media in general. I believe that. Like I always call it the Taylor Swift thing. Like a couple years ago, Taylor Swift got so fucking popular that it became very popular to dislike her. You know what I mean? Like like she was so popular with everybody selling out fucking stadiums and shit like that. That all of a sudden, in like a 2-month period of time, for no reason, like people hated her. Like I think the month before she bought like 3 of her fans' houses and shit like that, just like at random drawings, and people like were pissed at her for doing that. Like she bought people houses and shit. Like how the fuck what's wrong with you people? You know? So it does come around, and nobody's immune. I mean, I've had videos made about. I don't watch videos that are made about me. I just don't. And when I do, I normally laugh. Like I normally laugh their ass off. Like I did like Scott Herman's video responding back to me. Where like because I called him a Red Ross, and he said something back about me too. I thought it was funny because he took my fucking thing and switched it. I fucking love that shit. Like to me, that's funny. Bust my balls. Do whatever you fucking want to do. This shit is like this guy. I mean, the thing about Greg is that like he won't engage. He won't actually engage. Like he'll make a response video, like a response video back from their response video. Like you know, I hear what you're saying, but you're trying to just set it up. Every response video that guy makes is a telling to his fans of why he's right and why they should go hate on that person, you know?
Well, there's a reason he probably doesn't engage out often, because the one time he did with Mike Israetel, Mike mopped the floor with him.
Fucking destroyed him. He made him look like a fucking fool.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing too. Like his fans look past that shit. Greg is a fucking spaz, period. And he's like right now it's got to be driving him crazy because everybody's talking about him, and he normally responds to every fucking thing anybody fucking does. And right now he won't. It's got to be driving him crazy that he's terrified like a little bitch to say Minor Jones's name. Like it's got to be driving him nuts because that's what it is. People can say it's you're a smaller channel and blah 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 blah. He just made a fucking video today about a dude that has like 20 fucking thousand subscribers that talk polite about him. Like so you'll talk polite about somebody that nobody's ever fucking heard of.
Well,
and I know I'm not somebody, but it's not like people don't know who the fuck I am. You know, and Chris Jones.
He made the video about Jeffrey Schofeld's review, and Jeffrey has, you know, under 10,000. He had under 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Right, what the fuck? So, but you're not going to mention me, okay? I mean, you have every right to state that I'm not worthy of your time. I have every right to think that you're a little bitch who's terrified of saying my name because you don't want to engage with somebody that will not like. People get fucking paused because oh my god, Greg Doucette's fans are going to come here. I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't. I made a video mocking them yesterday. You know, like I mean, I don't give a fuck about them. Why the fuck would I give a fuck about them? What a bunch of fucking 13-year-olds going to come up to me and ask me for fucking lunch money?
Look, we've survived already in just our time knowing each other. We've survived some really stupid shit.
Yeah,
Elliot, whatever the fuck his name was.
The pervert?
Yeah. I mean, we all liked the guy. We thought his information was good. He was smart. He was witty. And, you know, those are near misses like plane crashes. You know, I've supported people over the years that have basically took my airplane and drove it into a fucking building.
I've been there
and survived that.
You know, that's the thing is, you know, with him and I know like there's people around him too. Here's my thing. You know, like I personally like I would love to actually have a conversation with him, like a one-on-one conversation. We can turn the comment section off, so we don't need to read for what anybody's asking us. Just Greg and I could sit on camera, and we could just let people watch our interaction. Tons of people, and to Greg Doucette's fans, all of you were asking for a collaboration between me and him before this shit, so it's apparently important enough to be mentioned then. But apparently you guys want to ignore him now, and that's because I got him. Like Greg is a wild. Greg's character, the character he plays, the fucking Iago bird talking motherfucker. That is a wildly entertaining character. It really, really is. And I do not shame him on his hustle. I absolutely do not. I don't. I just don't need to fucking give a fuck about it.
No, I wish I was 25 again and knew what I knew.
Oh fuck yeah!
I'd be all over it, man. I'd be making video. We cracked about.
Well, somebody at his camp figured it out. It wasn't Greg. I'm telling you, you can look back a year and a half ago, and look at his content, and then look now. Somebody came in and said, "Hey, I'll do the editing for you. I'll do your thumbnails for you. Here's some things I want you to talk about. Maybe you should talk like this." Somebody did that for him because it was almost an immediate change. And whoever did that, dude, you should fucking make your own business doing that shit, because you did no shit. They took somebody that nobody gave a fuck about, who's a disgraced fucking person who's been stripped of their fucking records, banned from multiple sports, almost went to fucking jail for being a fucking criminal, ratted on all of his friends, took that motherfucker and made him into something that made money for a little bit. Right now it's going to be very, very hard for him because his entire stick is that he's credible, and he's clearly not. So I have no problem with him or them. I would just love to have a one-on-one conversation with him. So anybody that watches this, let Greg know, and let Greg's fans know that the collab that they really, really, really seemed to want before I was fucking making him feel like a little fucking bitch. I'd gladly do that. We could talk live. It would be awesome.
So, just to
I love how Steve's like, so let's.
No. I was thinking about the conversation we had where I mentioned, if I was 25 again, I might just start with a channel like, is he hung or not, or is she?
Oh my God, you fucking kill it!
Or are her breasts fake or not? Like, let's just go balls deep and just that's a brilliant idea for someone out there who wants to make a little bit of money.
I'm still trying to figure out, where is all of this like curiosity? Is he natty or not? Why is this a thing? Like, I was watching, I grew up watching 80s action movies, Predator, Rocky IV, all this great stuff. And never once in my mind did I was thinking, man, is Arnold natural or not? Is Stallone natural? When did this become a thing?
It's the default. The literal default is you're too stupid to figure it out. Like, I'm sorry, but that's like, we need natty or not because the fake people, we need to know. You're stupid as fuck. First of all, a real quick news flash for any of you that are really, 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 really worried about natty or nots. It doesn't matter. You're never going to look like him. Like,
even if they are using, you'll never work as hard as they are.
They're already working a fucking trillion times harder than you. Here, that's the difference. Like, people, and Steve, and this is something I learned from Steve. No shit, because I was the strongest dude in my gym before I met Steve. That didn't mean shit, right? I mean, it still doesn't mean shit, but that didn't mean shit. I was the strongest dude in my fucking gym, like pound for pound. Easy. Especially, and when you consider it out of my age bracket, fucking blowing it away, just about anything. At the time I was fucking we were doing overhead dumbbell press with like 125s and shit like that at the fucking time, like crazy ass fucking weight, And not that my overhead's not still great because of the shoulders, but fuck, But I worked out with Steve a couple times. I'm like, okay, that's the difference between the YouTube personalities and me, is that their normal workout buries me. What I need to do is work on myself to the point where my normal workout buries them.
Right.
And that's what I worked for 2 fucking years on. Like for 2 fucking years, I made it so that when people showed up to sit food for sixes, the things they would say is like, God damn, he's a machine. Like that's what I worked on. I did fucking 100 pull-ups and 100 bodyweight dips and like 300 fucking push-ups and 100 bodyweight squats every day religiously for 2 fucking years, plus 6 days a week of workout on top of that shit. So people can suck on my whole fucking dick if they think I haven't earned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
all 2 inches of it, Alan? All 2 inches?
all 2 or 3 inches. But
Hey, back to the. I gotta interrupt you, but you ask why people do the nat or worried about the natty or not videos. We get some part of it is like they want to find a way to tear you down to their level. That's why we get how tall are you?
Oh my god,
the
the height things are fucking awesome. That's so funny. By the way, I'm 4'1" today, guys. That's my height. I'm 4'1".
Yeah, but I mean, part of it is wanting to tear somebody down to their level.
Yeah, it's weird, you know. Like I think I remember even telling you like that was I never understood the whole natty or not thing anyway. Like I don't because like their training has nothing to do with my training, none,
Right.
you know, absolutely none. And like I remember being like 13 years old, and here like I started working out because I wanted to look like Road Warrior Hawk. That was my reason.
Hey, I was right there with you.
Him though specifically. Like I thought I wanted to look like Road Warrior.
Guys, yeah.
And but in my mind, once I realized I wasn't going to be first of all 6'3" or 4", which is what that fucking dude was. And once I realized, like, okay, like I don't know any other human being that really looks like him except for these people that I see at the gym who very clearly, like, I was 14 years old and I could figure it the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if 14-year-old Alan Roberts, fucking ADHD, fucking crazy, hyperactive, and fucking, you know, eating like fucking 200 grams of sugar a fucking day can figure that shit the fuck out, you motherfuckers should be able to figure that shit the fuck out. You know, I mean, if you really need natty or not videos to tell if somebody's natty or not, you're too fucking stupid to worry about whether somebody's natty or not. I mean, it's so disingenuous. Nobody gives a fuck if they're natty or not. They just want to hear somebody say that they're not. You know, like, you know, the videos that get really fucking shitty reviews that don't do well are where like people like Kenny KO or Greg Doucette or something like that would say the person is natural. They get that initial flux and then it fucking falls off. They want to see the accusation. They want to see the discreditation. So because in the spirit of natty or not, that's why I still love hashtag Alan and Greg want to talk. I would still love to have that conversation because if we're going to fucking do that, I would love, like, let's sit and talk. Like let's do it. You know, like let's me and Iago sit down. He can use whichever voice he fucking chooses, whichever character he wants to fucking have on film. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I would just like make sure I keep the volume down a little bit if he wants to do the fucking screechy thing. But whichever personality he wants to show up with to have a conversation with me, I'd sit down and talk to him. You know, he can use both. He can even switch back and forth. I won't even bother me. You know.
So, Alan, on an end note, we're going to have to hop off soon.
I got calls too. So
but
I'm having too much fun. So.
But I know. I mean, we could go on forever. But I want to ask. I want to just touch on one thing before we go. Something we just touched on, and it has its roots in the natty or not thing. People want to believe that if somebody isn't natty, that somehow it means they only got their results from drugs. All right. Mm-hmm. That's part of it. But when guys like Doucette talk about work harder, right? Mm-hmm. My whole channel is, trying to not just focus people on stupid lift antics, but trying to get them to understand that the next level is pretty fucking hard, right? Yeah. Anybody that's been successful that you've met at whatever they're doing, whether it's business or whether it's lifting, they fucking work at a next level of hardness. I mean, it's next level.
That's the thing. They think that all of us compare us, like, here to all you, the YouTube fitness lemmings, okay? All of us don't compare our bodies to each other. All of us don't compare our advice to each other. All of us couldn't give a fuck what any of us is doing. You know what we compare ourselves to? The grind. Like, I mean, like how hard are they working? That's what we compare ourselves to because we realize a lot of it. Like, I'm never going to look like Big Boy, like fucking like the power lifter that works out with Cali Muscle. I was just watching one of their videos not too long ago. I'm expecting Cali to fucking say something about Doucette, but like, I'm never going to look like I'm genetically. We're not the same human being. Like I've a lot of the guys I've met, like Jeff McCool. From Moccasin Creek, good friend of mine from the band of my intro music, right? Jeff's 6'5". Okay, like I mean, Jeff's got a lot of extra weight on him, and we're working on it. But he's like 320 pounds right now. He's 6'5". Okay, and he like I look like I could like stand inside of him and do jumping jacks. You know, that's how the difference in size. And he is the brother-in-law of the Undertaker from wrestling, right? And I see pictures of Jeff standing next to Mark, which is Mark Callis, which is the Undertaker, right? And he makes Jeff look like a tiny little fucking man. Okay, so comparing yourself to other people's physical attributes are ridiculous. Like people comparing themselves to Greg Doucette's deadlift. Like I want to deadlift like Greg Doucette. Like, well, chop off half your fucking legs. You know, like because you know his leverages are completely different than yours. Your shin bone's probably 3 or 4 inches longer than his. Don't compare yourself to him. Compare yourself with how hard he works. Now, Greg does fucking work hard. I could not imagine the amount of fucking filming he does. I mean, he does get to send all that shit off to an editor. Prove me wrong. But hey, Fiona, how you been? Good to see you. Good to see you. Who's that? Who's that?
Butters.
Butters?
That's Mr. Butters.
Mr. Butters. He
He's
is cute.
hello.
Adorable. Welcome to your life, dog. But like he hustles, and I have no problem with the hustle. I absolutely don't. Like I don't know how he does business wise. I can't imagine. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I don't know how he does business wise because I don't know how he does business wise. I'm not going to elaborate and fucking stick my foot in my fucking mouth. But you know, like you grind, I grind. Like we all like all of you fuckers are like, oh, it must be nice just to make YouTube videos, blah blah blah. All of us work like 16 hours a fucking day. You know, all of us have 3 or 4 or 5 businesses running because when you're a fitness personality, you can't have one revenue stream. It's right. Stupid to fucking think so. Here's a little business lesson for you motherfuckers, okay? If you want to get into the fitness business, if you want to be a YouTube fitness star and fucking big fame and everything like that, get real fucking used to YouTube fucking you hard, okay? First of all, hard. YouTube does not give a fuck about creators. They do not give a fuck about you. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. Sometimes you just won't make it in the algorithm, no matter how pretty you are, no matter how nice you are, no matter fucking how good your body is. There are tons of fucking channels with 100 fucking subscribers of dudes that look 1,000 times better than me that are fucking more knowledgeable than me. Thousands, okay? But all of us got like fucking serious fucking grinds going on. We all have fucking t-shirts. We all have fucking programs. We all have fucking coaching. We all have fucking side things. We all have fucking Amazon links. We all have fucking YouTube. We all have fucking other platforms. We all have this. We all try to fucking make money in whatever fucking way we can. That's hustle. And then we all try to take this money, and if you're smart, you try to take this money and you try to build businesses on top of that fucking business. So while you're doing your full-time hustle, by the way, if you're doing coaching, videos, training, and you're training yourself, and then you're writing a book or something like that, those are 3 or 4 full-time jobs. Expect to work 15 to 16 hours a fucking day, period, right? And you then add on other full-time fucking jobs of new businesses you're trying to fucking build on top of those things that will fucking make you money for when you want to fucking retire. So we don't give a fuck about anybody, like how they fucking lift. I could not do people like the whole fake weight thing. I never noticed, you know why? Because I never doubted that I'm stronger than Jeff, like not a fucking day in my life. You know, and honestly, like I don't compare strength anymore to people. So I've kind of got out of that fucking mind frame because like strength is a neat thing. It's not that I'm not a decently strong guy, but like I like to be able to fucking go. Like Steve, like I like to fucking go. Like when I work out, I want the world to disappear and it'd be nothing but music and iron clanging, you know, and fucking heavy breathing and sweat, like almost no rest. You know, like 15-second rest periods between sets and shit. That's what I fucking love for supersets and shit. We all have our own we all grind, and that's what we compare ourselves to. Here's the issue, okay? If somebody's on their fucking grind and they're putting out shit that can fucking mislead people or hurt people because the information that they're telling them to do with their body, that to me is where I step in, okay? That is where I step in. If you think somebody doing something to their body, not disclosing it, because it's not even like most of these people that they make natty or not videos about, it's not like most of them even say that they're natural. Most of them just don't say shit and the person tries to bust them out. Well, when you bust out a person like that has neither admitted nor denied whether they are, they could lose money. They could lose sponsorships. You're taking their fucking hustle away. You're taking their hustle away for no other reason than you're too fucking stupid to think that they might be using something. Like for some reason that bothers you to the point, if you think somebody's using something, don't fucking watch them. If it bothers you, don't fucking watch them. Don't be a little fucking whiny pussy and worry about what they're doing with their body. If they're giving you decent advice that is fucking good, will be healthy for you, who fucking cares what they do? What they look like does not matter. Like for real, like me and you talk about it all the time, right, Steve? Like, at one point in time when we got together, I was like 10% body fat. One time we were together, I think it was for the one Sitfu. Like,
right.
When we worked out, and then we went to that fucking we went to the microbrew afterwards, right?
Right.
Like physical, like there's no fucking way at that fucking body fat I would have been nearly as strong as Steve, like on any fucking lift ever. Especially the way I did it, because the way I did it wasn't super fucking intelligent. I didn't feel real good. I could do a lot of body weight shit really fucking easy, but when it came to fucking any weight on the bar, that shit felt like it was 3 times the fucking what it was.
Now, I remember when you were going through that cut. I mean, every single day, about 3 o'clock, you'd get on our little conversation with Elgin, and you were just insane.
It was so. I'm glad I did it, so I knew what to tell people not to fucking do, because it was horrible. I still don't eat lentils because I ate them every fucking. I don't. I ate them every fucking day. I still don't eat lentils.
But you eat a lot of salmon still, because you were crushing about a pound of salmon.
Well, I was pescatarian for about 6 years.
Yeah,
I only ate fish, and now I've introduced since the pandemic, and I've reintroduced red meat. I just felt like my body was missing something. Just to be real, don't get me wrong. I love being pescatarian. I still eat a lot of seafood, but there's something to be said for red meat. I eat steak just about every day now. So, yeah. But I also like things have changed so much in that. And this, I mean, I really didn't. I believe pescatarian's okay. I think I just like. I'm still a advocate of it, but at the same time, like I was definitely feeling restricted. Like I mean, like in my mind, I was feeling restricted, and that was affecting my eating. It was affecting like I was having a hard time controlling my hunger, because once you start feeling restricted, you get fucking food focused. Right. And then you start thinking about food, and then your brain goes through the biological processes of you thinking about food, which actually does fucking happen. Mm-hmm. And so we reintroduced red meat, and my body reacted super fucking well. Like it used to upset my stomach, but we think that it was upsetting my stomach because I was eating it with gluten, and I definitely have it. Like I've been diagnosed with a gluten sensitivity. So
yeah.
But ever since we started at it, like my body reacted really, really, really well. I'm very satiated. I'm very in control of my hunger. Like I'm losing weight visibly, like in the mirror, because I'm not weighing myself, but I don't feel like I'm like dieting at all.
Right.
At all. But that's the thing. Like just because somebody is stronger than you at a point in time or something like that, like I have coached tons of guys that were stronger than me for strength. Just because they're stronger than me, just because they're bigger than me, doesn't mean I can't coach them. Just because somebody is, like Greg Doucette should be able to coach natural people. I see no fucking reason why not. I think he's lying his ass off when he says he's on 140 milligrams of fucking TRT in a fucking. I mean, dude's fucking peeled to the fucking bone and fucking juicy, and he's on 100 and 44, 45 years old. Okay, all right, like. But people don't understand being big at that age. Not really that hard, right, Steve? Being really lean at 44 years old, not super easy. So
yeah, I mean, once you built the muscle, it's pretty much there. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, but at 44 to be 5 foot tall and maintain 198 pounds, fucking.
But to maintain the leanness, that's the. Yeah. I mean that. The people I know in the industry that are that old and maintaining the leanness, I know what this has nothing to do with Doucette.
Yeah.
But I know lie? Something's going on.
Why lie though? He accuses he professes it over and over again. 140 milligrams. If your doctor gave you that, they're trying to put you to normal levels, which means you should look like a normal fucking person. Okay? Not peeled to the fucking bone, 45 years old, fucking big as fuck. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, but you're not an actual mutant from the fucking X-Men, and natty or not, I'll not that it matters. I just don't understand why he would lie about it. You know, like
Like the only people you really see like that natural are, like the rare teenager that's just completely peeled, and they can eat and eat and eat. But beyond that, either you got a serious, like under the age of 35, either you're seriously fucked up and just eat sweet potatoes, chicken breasts, and 2.3 stalks of broccoli a day, like Mark Lobliner, or you're taking a lot of things that contribute to that.
Like that's the thing. Like the thing with Scrappy, and I'll always call him Scrappy. I don't give a fuck. But the thing with Scrappy is that like nobody, like he did what businessmen do. You know what I'm saying? Like he builds businesses on top of his other businesses, and that's what we all want to do. You know what I mean? Nobody can say any different. Do I agree with everything he's ever said? Of course not. But because wow. But I appreciate I like him, Brandon Carter. I've had negative shit to say about Brandon Carter too. I still talk to him fairly. I actually spoke to him the other day. But talk about a fucking dude that hustles and grinds. At some point in time, and then people make fun of people will make fun of these guys for it. Like I've said this before, and I will say it again. Like you can make fun of the millionaires all you want. I mean, like if they care what Instagram comment or Instagram and fucking YouTube comments make after they've made millions of dollars based off of their businesses, I would suggest that they need to evaluate themselves, because that's not what to me. I realized a while ago, we can end this on this, because I think it's been a really interesting year for me. Like when you get into YouTube, you are taught to be popular. Like you want to be popular at all times, right? It is the key. It is the method. It is how you build an audience. It's how you build businesses, and it's important to worry about your audience. It really, really, really is. And there are lots of different ways. Like people can place ads and all like that. It helps their channels. I mean, it's just real. Like a lot of channels get blown up because they place ads for people to come to their channel. They see it, they click, they subscribe, blah, blah, blah. It happens.
Right. B-Shred's a perfect example.
B-Shred's a perfect example. There's a few other guys that recite PubMed articles for a fucking living and they're so boring they sound like elevator music to do the same. But I decided literally about 6 or 7 months before the pandemic happened, like right when we were getting ready to move down here, I'm just going to start not worrying about that shit, and I'm just going to worry about the people that I resonate with and make good content, try to help people as much as possible, try to be funny, because I really do consider myself, and most people know, but I consider myself like partly comedian. And I decided like last year, towards the end of the year, probably about a year and a couple months ago, that I'm just going to fucking say what I'm going to fucking say, because I'm going to be 50 fucking years old this year. I've really fucking busted my ass and worked hard. And the last thing I wanted to do was also feel like people are accused of selling out all the time in our business because they want to make money and shit like that.
Right.
To me, selling out is when you will put your popularity in front of the truth or your thoughts.
Right.
To me, that's the problem. Somebody said, I'm not a fan of Greg's content, but yes, you can maintain that at 140 milligrams easy. Watch more plates, more right videos on TRT doses and their effect. 140 milligrams to stay peeled to the fucking bone, 195 pounds at 5'2". No, I'm just going to disagree. I mean, it could be. In my personal opinion, he's lying about that.
Well, I'm also blocking the comment because I don't want anybody to go over to some rando YouTube channel for juice advice. But anyway, carry on.
But the thing is, to me, when people put their popularity ahead of content, when they chase the popularity, when they chase the viewers, they chase the subscribers, when they won't say the thing that might be unpopular, because they worry about that, that's them selling out, period. And the fitness industry is full of them, because most people, as we talked at the beginning, have not discussed actual health issues this entire fucking year. That's selling out to me. People trying to make money, like Greg's not selling out by trying to make money at all. I don't think that. I really don't. I don't think people signing supplement deals is selling out. You know, I really don't. As long as they're very fucking open about like, hey, this is just a supplement, fucking blah blah blah. You know, like I saw one guy a couple of years ago. He was like, here's these supplements. It does this. You really don't need them, but you could have them. I was like, oh my god, I love the guy. I can't fucking piss me off. I can't remember his name. You know, but you know, this year has really taught me something. You know, where that I would rather, you know, I would rather be less popular. Have more people like hate me, and be able to not feel like I have to hold my tongue. Like it's what you find is important. Like to me, I started this late. Like I started this much later, and I just full throttled it the entire time. So, and I don't have perspective on people that grind to try to build a channel. I just am full throttle all the way fucking down, and I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to I'm going to make videos when I want to, and I'm going to say what I fucking want to.
One thing people need to understand about this, you know, it seems like a popularity contest at times, but the more you are yourself, the more you attract people that are like-minded. Mm-hmm. Those are the people you can help. It's not a popularity contest. You know, how many people can I attract? It's how many people I attract that want to hear my message and will be helped by it. And Robert can attest to this for anybody watching. I spent my first 10 years and most of my time on YouTube working in the supplement industry, which was a huge blessing. It helped me establish a career. It helped me gain some eyeballs from Tiger Fitness, but I could not be myself 100%. That was kind of the opposite of selling out. You couldn't always share an opinion because your employer was watching. Yeah. And I know, Robert, you probably go through that occasionally or have gone through that occasionally.
It like the supplement industry is a weird beast. I mean, it's gotten to the point sometimes where I'll have a guest on the podcast, on like the Supplement Engineer podcast. I'll get an angry phone call from some brand saying, or a text message or an email or something. This happened on more than one occasion where I'll have some brand owner, and because this other brand owner doesn't like that brand owner for something that happened, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, I'll get it saying, how could you do this? I don't respect them. I'm like, I'm not going on there saying your company is shit and theirs is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's just the egos get in the way of it. And it's weird. It's, I mean, I'm sure there's ego and you know, butthurt feelings and all this stuff in every industry. It's just, I never thought just simply having a conversation or conducting an interview on a neutral platform where I'm just trying to get information about like the founding of a company or what's their formulation philosophy or any other stuff, it has been met with such vitriol and spite.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is like, you know, around the time where I started exiting that tube was around the time that, you know, me and Alan, people knew that we were friends. So I was able to more and more say what I wanted to say. And people would come to me and say, Alan's influencing you. Like, no, actually, I just got out of the fucking shit bowl called.
Not only that, but one, influencing you to speak your fucking mind. How's that a negative thing?
Right.
So I'm going to end with this because I got to go take a piss. But I'm going to end with this. For those of you watching, there's only two people I know that I've met that, you know, personally, I'm impressed by how little they sleep and how hard they work. When I first came to work for Tiger Fitness, Mark Lobliner used to stay in my house and used to use the spare bedroom. And I'd wake up to take a piss at like 4:30 in the morning, and he'd be leaning against the wall, half asleep with his laptop on his, answering shit. And it's like an hour later, he was up drinking coffee. And Alan's the same thing. Alan's the same way. You know, we're at your place in Pittsburgh, fucking pissed drunk at like 3 a.m, and at like 5 o'clock we got up and did a fucking sit-through or some shit. I don't fucking remember. Mm-hmm. You know, but like the whole grind.
That was the day after, dude. I don't think we got drunk. I don't think we got drunk.
I don't remember, but it's just like the next level dedication to success. The next level dedication. It's, you know, guys that are successful, that's in their blood. It's not, you know, it's not something you can fake unless you're really lucky and put together a miracle product that brings in $1 billion.
Well, eventually they get sick of it. Like, I mean, first of all, they don't plan. Like a lot of these guys go out and spend their money really fucking quickly or whatever. They don't fucking plan. But two, like I'm sorry, but like you got all hours in a day. That's it. Like if there's more shit to get done than you have hours in a day, get more shit done. And you don't get to sleep. Like we try real hard now. I mean, especially because I'm about to seriously crank up the training for shit I can't really talk about right now. So I got some surprises coming this year that's gonna fuck people up. But so I'm making sure I get more sleep. But more sleep for me is like 5 hours, 6 hours. I don't get me wrong. Like the cool thing is I fall asleep easy now. It's staying asleep is just staying asleep. I wake up thinking like, did I fucking send that email? Did I fucking do this? Did I fucking do that? That's the ADHD right there. So, man, but I don't want to take up more time. Thank you for having me on, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. My issue, Alan, is
thank you for not abandoning me when everybody started hating me.
Well, I don't have many friends in life, but you two ugly motherfuckers are right in the top 5. So consider yourself lucky. But my issue, Alan, is like at the end of the day, like you go through this too. You have so many people trying to plug into you with questions that, like when 5 o'clock comes around, I'm like, I don't want to process anything. I don't want to process what's for dinner. I don't want to process what somebody next door is doing. I just want peace and quiet.
Yeah. Fucking, I would love, and I mean love to not fucking not live around neighbors and shit. Like that's, I mean, you know what I mean? Like I just want peace and quiet and be able to do my fucking thing. Yep. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't understand though that like we're not in front of people all the time just because we speak to thousands of people all the time. We're normally very fucking alone.
No, I live a completely secluded life. I'm in this little box, and then I go run in the woods, and then I come back to my box.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it. All right, guys, we appreciate you watching. We're going to pull the plug. Any hate mail comments I get for having Alan on talking about COVID, you can direct them to what's your social media, Alan?
Oh, it's Alan Roberts at EDF. You can send that one there, or Twitter. You can find me at Every Damn Day Fit on Twitter. And here's my thing, guys. I don't think I know it's a real virus and people really, really do die. You just need to not fucking freak and fucking keep your heads about you. Okay?
Yeah, we just need to not destroy the entire world economy. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next time, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks.